testament to all my sponsors, really.
Yeah.
It's like they understand that we can't Monster, Scott, Fox, we can't just have a film with just these athletes, because that's not the idea of the film. The idea of the film is to represent everyone, and in our opinions, the best riders in the best riding locations in the world, and ultimately, by doing that, getting people out on their bike.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, man. Hey, before we get into this episode, Christmas is coming.
It is. It's that time of year, dude.
Yeah, man, it's that time of year. And we thought, what better way to celebrate Christmas than giving away a bike?
Mate, how cool is this? How cool is this?
The coolest thing.
And combining it with Guest of the Year.
Exactly, Guest of the Year. We didn't do it last year. I love Guest of the Year.
I
it's
do.
Super fun, and we've had some absolute bangers.
I was actually Guest of the Year before.
You were the original Guest of the Year.
I was the original Guest of the Year.
You were the first ever Guest of the Year.
And look at me now.
Hey, you might win it this year.
I might give it a go, yeah.
You might win it this year. I'll have to put your name on the thing.
Wicked. So, what bike is it that we're giving away, how do you enter?
We are giving away a Focus VAM Squared 9.8 Light EMTB. Not just a bike, an e-bike.
It's so good.
It's the sickest thing, dude. They're like £6,000.
It's the super light version. So it's the Fazua Ride 60 system. Honestly, I love this bike. It's one of my Surrey Hills bikes of choices. It's lower travel, super lightweight bike, mega fun. Yeah,
mate, the dream. Honestly, I'm blown away that we get to do it. So thank you, Focus, for stepping in.
Actually,
giving us a bike giveaway.
At this point in the introduction, I think we should start playing some footage of the actual bike we're talking about, because we don't have it here.
No, we don't have it here.
Yeah.
So this is the bike you could win on screen now. And it's free to enter. All you have to do is head to the website, theridecompanion.co.uk, and on the homepage you will find our listener survey, which we just want to know who our listeners are, where you're from, what you do. Nothing too intrusive, just nice questions. We just want to know why you listen, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You can then vote for your Guest of the Year.
Yep.
That guest is going to win a pretty sick little prize from us, a personalised prize.
Yep.
And then you're automatically entered to win a VAM Squared 9.8 Light EMTB.
It's literally that easy. And if you've forgotten already, just head below and you'll see exactly how to enter.
Exactly. The link is in the show description. Tell your friends, tell your family. Someone is going to win £6,000 worth of e-bike just in time for Christmas. We're going to draw it, I think, just before Christmas, like 2 days before Christmas Day.
Yep.
So what a prize. What a gift.
Focus VAM Squared SL. I can't believe we've managed to wangle this one.
Neither can I.
Big thanks, Focus.
Big thanks, Focus. And let's get into this fantastic episode with our guests, Brendan Fairclough and Chris Seager. All right.
Actually, I
wouldn't say brains.
It's the brains and the body.
We'll clap
Two
anyway.
of the three amigos, isn't it? We've got to mention straight away. This is the DEATHGRIP2 episode, first and foremost, right?
Well,
Clay Dog.
You're always going to do a better intro for this than me.
No,
I mean, you're
I
actually in
wasn't.
the film. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sort of a guest too today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. But it's
we can't forget Clay.
Yeah, it's 66% of the DEATHGRIP2 crew. This is it, isn't it? This is
actually 66.6%.
Nice.
0.66.
Yeah, 666. Oh, and then it goes 7. Oh, there you go.
7. Why? You round up. Why? 3 decimal places.
Is what it is.
No, it isn't, because if you times it by... Anyway.
I'll be making sure that's exactly correct when I get my third.
You're actually really good at maths, aren't you?
I'd say not really good. I'd say
you
You did
maths
maths and physics, didn't you?
Yeah.
At uni.
no, I
College.
didn't know.
College.
This has gone a bit far.
Come on.
I did engineering and maths at college.
Maths.
Dude.
Not physics and whatever, yeah.
The big
I
brain on
didn't do
Brad.
anything close to like... That's fancy.
No, but you have
I
to
didn't
understand that how the slight bit of goodness I am at maths is like really like how
Taken
bad I
from
am at
spelling.
spelling and English is like really doesn't level out.
Yeah, fair enough.
So my goodness at maths and my badness at English really keeps me below average on the below average
Did
level.
you do a lot of fractions and maths?
No,
like eighths and
I did
things?
more like more sort of imperial measurements.
Right, before I actually have a bullet point that we have to do first and foremost, right? When is Death Grip 2 out? Because everyone is desperate to see it. Obviously, you've done a movie tour, but we're actually... Is this podcast going to be out before the movie is out? Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so what is the date for Death Grip 2? When is this movie coming out?
Brendan?
You want me to carry this one on through?
We're going to go for the 28th of November.
Yeah.
Which will be next week. We have had some
Thursday
issues.
next week.
Mainly...
Oh no, we've struck on a bad note. Is this a bummer? This is an annoyance.
No, for us, I think it's just hard because we've made the movie.
Yeah.
And we thought, right, we're done. We'll do a sick premiere tour, take it to all these countries.
Which was sick.
Which was amazing. And then we had to now try and sell it somewhere, get it online, which has been so much harder than anyone could have ever actually imagined and thought of. Especially doing it in... There's not many words in Death Grip, just a lot of good songs, but we have to translate it to all these different languages, countries. We have 2 different partners for it, an English-speaking one and one that does kind of Spanish, Italian, German, and all the rest.
Right, so are those the things that hold it up? It's like all of the things that you don't think about when you watch it, basically. So like...
Basically, Death Grip, not Death Grip 2, the first one, we did all of our hard work. We did all of what we can do. Yeah. Amazing editing, amazing filmmaking, the writing, whatever.
Yeah.
We had a film that we were super like stoked on. We handed it over to a company called The Orchard. They took a big percentage, which at the time we were like, motherfucker, like, pissed.
What do you do? Now we know what they do.
We were like, what are you even doing? You're just like handing. It's like, this is how I imagine that their work. There's us. They hand it to us, and then they hand it to iTunes, and then to Netflix and everyone. It's like, there you go, done.
Yeah.
30%. Cheers. But in actual fact, like what we've established now is that that company we used from number one, which was 8 years ago now, they unfortunately went under. So what we've had to try to find is a new distributor for the movie. And what a distributor is a third party that, because we don't have Mr. Netflix on our phone. We didn't have iTunes. We didn't have Amazon Prime. We didn't have Disney. We didn't have Paramount. We didn't have Sky. We didn't have all these people. This company specializes in distributing content to all these people. We can't possibly have all these numbers. So you need to use this third party.
Yeah. But we can't even upload it personally. You like Netflix only speak to these guys.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can't just send them an email.
No. Their black book of contacts.
Exactly.
No. So the first one, when we were lucky, The Orchard really did an awesome job. They got it straight to iTunes, which is what we're about to do, which makes it downloadable, which means it's like a downloadable thing. You go on iTunes, you can download it for whatever, and you can watch it. And then down the line, however long that will be, we'll then go to streaming with it. We'll go to streaming on in-flight entertainment and all of that sort of stuff. So we gave it to this company. They distribute it everywhere. We didn't do anything, and we were like a bit annoyed about the percentage we were paying. But they did such an amazing, incredible job. This time, that company has unfortunately gone under. Pardon me. So we've had to find a new one. Finding a new one was really hard because I think we're small time. We're like, it's self-funded, not self, but like all our sponsors are funded, small time action sports movie in mountain biking. You know, it's like a niche thing.
And it's us 3 doing it ourselves. You don't have producers, all these execs. It's Bren, Clay and I trying to work it all out. Which even at the best of times is hard, let alone.
Did you like have any takeaways from the first one though? Obviously you said like the main thing is Orchard were really good at doing the job, but did you like learn from them any tips to carry forward?
No, because we left it completely in their head. They were dad.
Yeah. They were dad.
Like they are dad. Do it.
Yeah.
And they did it, and they did a phenomenal job. And this time we found like, right, we've got to find a distributor. We're like a niche market. We're not like. The first thing they ask is like, how many millions do you have in marketing for this film? And we're like,
good
the
luck.
film cost us like £250,000, $250,000 to produce, make, pay for music. Ethics all kicked in. Everyone's kicked in. All the film crew, everyone has been on like a slightly reduced rate because they notice it's a passion project. We've got X amount. We're transparent at the beginning. We've got X amount of money. Like, this is how it works.
Yeah.
So some of the questions were, how many millions have you got for marketing? Because they don't want to take on a film that they're going to do a lot of legwork on, and then it just sits on iTunes with zero marketing, so no one will ever know it's on there.
Yeah.
So how many millions have you got? No, we haven't got any. What film is it? Oh no, we're not interested in that. So to even find a distributor in the first place was super hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's commission based, I guess. So
Yeah, they take a percentage of.
So they want it to be successful.
Of course
obviously.
they do. It's in their benefit.
Yeah, yeah, but they're not a marketing company.
No,
Purely distribution.
So
Yeah.
this distribution company. So we've approached this company in London, TMP, super cool guys, amazing. We like working with them. Got recommended them. Can't remember where it is, but instantly first phone call, we liked what we heard. Most importantly, they were stoked on what they heard. They seemed honestly like excited to work with us, which is like a huge thing.
And they also ranged on they did indie films, not just huge Hollywood ones.
Right.
Which I think is much more
Yeah.
suitable to us.
Yeah.
They know to target the right people and how to
Yeah.
They're
get these
good-
things to Netflix and everyone else.
Exactly, good portfolio, and the biggest thing was their relationship with Netflix and streaming, whatever. Amazing. Then we hear that they only do English-speaking territories, so England, America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, blah blah blah. We were like, right, that's not possible because we need all of Europe, we need all of South America. Like, everything we do is so global. Mountain biking is global. All our following is global. Everything we do is global. So they suggested another distributor for all of South America, all of Europe, all these other countries, and that other distributor is the one that's like let us down a little bit.
gone out of sync. Gone out of sync.
This
And they
like
do
22nd of November was communicated from day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been and it's not happened.
The thing was, the English one was ready for the 22nd November, but we thought it was unfair to just
Oh yeah, because you could have rolled with.
could have just
22nd
rolled
in
into
theory.
everyone,
Yeah.
North America, UK, New Zealand, Australia.
You know, when you say that though, I have seen in the past movies be released and it'll have like 2 dates. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm off on that, but I'm sure I've seen available
sure.
in this country on this date and in this country on this date, and that's probably why, right? Because things have
we
gone
even
out
got
of sync.
people like GoPro sponsored Adidas. You're going to do a global post on their Instagram. They're going to click on it. Some people will be absolutely stoked they can
true.
see it,
Yeah.
and others will be there like, link didn't work, doesn't work,
Yeah,
it's
true.
rubbish.
It's all stuff like this you'd never think about,
Yeah.
would you? You know, and
No, so let me just give you a tiny insight into why this is such a bummer. It's like accounts like Adidas account, GoPro global account. These are 20 million follower accounts. These accounts have 5 people managing them, probably. So you have to book a day in 2 months in advance, and you have to book what you want to put on there. You have to tell them what you're going to write. It's like huge deals, you know. Book 22nd in months in advance with what we want, this, that, and the other. And then now this date's changed to the 28th, which is Thanksgiving in America. GoPro Global can no longer post on that day. Like some websites we have takeovers with can no longer post on that day because it's already been booked in months in advance. Adidas, you know, all these things that people don't really understand, and what we've done to promote this day. I've had my bike painted with available November 22nd.
well, look, it's a bummer to you. It's not a bummer to anyone else.
No,
Everyone's
I
well
know,
excited
but
it's coming out on the
it's just
28th.
like a
Let's-
huge
yeah.
amount of like money, like potential money's worth of marketing, promotional. That's
doubt.
like,
And I even think for the fans at the end of the day, you've waited to November the 22nd, what's one more week?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6
You're going to be
days.
stoked either way, and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah,
it's a
it's
bummer,
just-
but it
it's,
is what it is, isn't it? These
yeah,
things
exactly.
are obviously totally out of your control,
And we
And-
tried, if you want to make that clear.
and it's worth it. It's worth the wait.
Yeah.
So
We're just stoked to think actually finally show everyone. Because same on the Premier Tour, it was such build up, such good nights, and
Is
everyone
the-
seems so stoked. But you think only 250 people saw it at a time.
yeah,
yeah, true.
And we did
yeah.
about 10 to 15 Premier Tours.
or more.
Yeah.
All around
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Is this route to market the same as DEATHGRIP 1? Was it
Yeah.
Premier Tour, Gap,
Do you know what? Deathgrip 1, we
didn't
didn't actually do a premiere tour.
We had 1 or 2 premieres.
We
didn't
did 1 or 2 world premieres. We did 1 in London, Soho again.
In Munich, I guess, and
Oh yeah, we did 3.
maybe
we did,
3. But
we
it
did.
was like really minimal.
We did London, we did Munich, and we did Monterey same time as Sea Otter.
Ah, right.
We did 3. Did American 1, Germany 1, English 1.
Yeah.
And then we went straight to iTunes, downloadable
Yeah.
for I think it was like 6 months. And then it went to then we signed a 2-year Netflix global contract.
Right. That
Which
is super
which
interesting,
is-
obviously, that it was on Netflix. I mean,
Well,
it
it's
was
like
first
just
mountain bike film
it's
ever
first
on
mountain
Netflix.
bike film on there, yeah.
blow our own trumpet. It's like no mountain bike movie has ever lived on Netflix global for 2 years.
Right.
They always sign like a territory, like say like American Netflix for 6 months, or like a Europe Netflix for 6 months. But we somehow got a global for 2 years.
Wow.
So DeathGrip 1, I don't know to call it DeathGrip 1, this DeathGrip got translated into 44 different languages.
Wow.
Yeah. So like in theory,
Did you know that was going to happen earlier? Or was there a point when an
No,
email
no.
comes through just like,
Yeah.
da-da-da-da-da, you go on
in
Netflix?
theory, like in the magic numbers, which I like to call it because all marketing people like magic numbers, it's like the most viewed bit of mountain bike content ever created. Like if you put all the numbers together, which is quite cool, yeah. Because it's sat on global Netflix for 2 years, first and foremost.
Amazon Prime
and
again
then
for another
Amazon
2
Prime
years
for
after.
another 2 years.
It's crazy to think of people in their living rooms that have never seen a mountain bike or been around it, just scrolling through Netflix and being
seeing
like,
that.
oh, I'll try it. And then there you guys are. It's like,
Yeah, but that's
And 7
So
years ago,
sick.
Netflix was big, but it was still... Because now there's obviously a lot of stuff on Netflix. But
Yeah.
7 years ago, it was a bit less saturated, let's say.
yeah, true, yeah.
And I'd get like my friends of friends randomly having seen this movie and, you know, coming up in the living room. They're like, no way, this is your film on here.
It had the little, you know, the cast thing where you could click on the person, and it had my name. You could click on my name from the first one. I remember just doing
IMDb.
like this.
Wow.
Yeah, like obviously, there's only one thing that I've been in. I haven't been in any other movies.
Yeah.
now you have.
Now you have to.
So far.
You're going to be on it again.
But it was like that. It was like as soon as it came out on Netflix, I had like mates from school that I hadn't spoken to for like 5 years, and they were like, "Dude, we've just seen your movie on Netflix. It's insane." So it just like you get on those streaming sites, and like it just suddenly just goes to the next band of people, you know. Because I always think that when we're marketing this movie, I'm like, we've got the core mountain bike community fairly well wrapped up with all the athletes that are going to post, the sponsors that are going to post within mountain biking. But the only real sponsors that really like push out to the next band are probably GoPro. Everyone's got GoPro.
True.
If you're a fisherman, skydiver, builder, probably you might have a GoPro. If you got you know, Adidas, because you might be a basketball player, hockey, netball, whatever. So that's what we're like trying to push in this one. Is like those other that next band,
Wider,
you know, that next band of people.
Yeah.
That, you know, I call them like the Danny Mac effect. It's like Danny Mac's like found that band and again and again and again, because everything he does is like you know, you can understand. He jumps off a phone box and your mum's like, you know what? This bloke jumped off a phone box. Phone box is like 2.5 meters high, and you're like, Mum, I literally jump twice high as that every day. Like, I can jump off a 4 meter cliff. And she's like, no.
Like, mum, look out the window. I'm literally in the garden.
Look,
jumping
Mum,
out
the jump
treehouse.
I've made in the garden is 4 meters high. No, but this guy's jumped off 5 steps, and he's landed backwards.
Do you know, it's really true, because you think of you think, oh, it wouldn't reach extra people, but then I've watched stuff on free diving, on diving to the bottom of the ocean. It's only because it's on Netflix. I wouldn't have clicked on it anywhere else. It's on Netflix. It's got like a stamp of approval. You know it's worthy of it. It does reach really different demographics, like super different.
So, but we're not talking about Netflix now. We're talking about download.
We have to, of course.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you
iTunes,
have to
but-
kind of be...
Yeah.
It might
So,
be on Netflix
but
in the future.
But right now it's downloaded. It'll be downloadable on the 28th of November. So it'll be... We've got on the premiere tour. A band above, it's like downloadable to everyone that would like to download it and watch it straight away. And then down the line, don't know when, we have a streaming contract. Yeah. So
What's cool with this like the movie, it's evergreen. It's going to live forever.
Yeah.
So no matter if you're listening to this now and it's the 23rd
Yeah.
of November, it doesn't matter. There's a link in the show description. Go find it. Watch the movie. Leave a comment. Tell your friends.
Yeah, go
Especially
watch
your mum.
it. Support and honestly, it sounds cringy in it, and it's going to sound cringy. But the reason why we made it is because we all grew up watching mountain bike movies.
Yeah.
Like I grew up back from school, sprung, earthed those videos on straight away, straight on your bike, digging, riding, and like this one I've said along the way is like, if we can get one person to go out and buy a bike and ride a bike, or buy a shovel and go dig a jump, or buy a camera and go film your mate digging or riding or filming a bird or whatever you want to do, if we can like, not those birds, you should not buy a camera and film a bird.
I was thinking, whoa.
But if we can like promote any of that rather than like
Wildlife,
being inside and like playing on a game and go outside and do something, then it's the job done, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like that's why we did it, and that's why we just want to promote biking, promote
Have you
getting
ever
outside.
had like? It'd be so interesting to hear, maybe through like your Instagram, how many people bought a bike from seeing Death Grip
Yeah, it'd be sick. Yeah,
original, the
Yeah.
OG.
And especially
That
with
is a
Death
lot.
Grip, we don't. I feel like nowadays you have to make a bike film and make up a story. Like, we're not actually interested in doing that. We just want to get people
So true,
stoked and riding. And I say we spend a lot of money on soundtrack, but to be fair, Music Supervisor got some insane deals and same songs. But we just want to get insane music to the riding to get everyone inspired to go out and rip straight away, rather than making a story that's not there. I'm all for a story if it's there in the first place, but you don't have to make anything up.
So
We
right, yeah.
want to inspire you. And the soundtrack, I've got to say, that's, I think, always a Death Grip is like our soundtrack. If we put loads of time and energy on, and it's just us three arguing on Apple Music what songs you want in it. But I think on this one we've killed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Stoked
sick
on it.
sound. Have you got a Spotify thing up yet?
We do it,
Yeah.
There
The
is.
website will be up on the Sunday. Let me double check.
24th.
24th or 25th.
But there's already, if you're listening, there is one on
Spotify one. Rad.
Apple
24th.
Music as well, but just search Death Grip 2 and they'll
Sunday, 24th of November. You can go on our website. And on the website, I'm going to put this out now because we're filming before. The website's not quite finished yet. You'll be able to, if you want, support the movie, the book, which I don't like the word proud, but I'm pretty stoked on it. It's got
Actually,
some
we've
cool
got the
stuff.
whole range unaware.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
wearing the t-shirt and I'm wearing the hoodie.
Yes, yeah.
And they will all be on the website.
And the pre-order link to the English speaking movie will be on there as well on the 25th.
Perfect.
But,
We'll just keep. We'll
was
throw
it
all the
24th?
links in the show
Sunday,
description,
Sunday.
and they might be
Sunday.
coming up on screen.
So
as
yeah,
well.
so you
Watch
can
it.
so you can and then on there, obviously, when you go on there later down the line, you'll see. Hopefully on there we'll have like the Spotify playlist, we'll have the Apple playlist to all the tunes in the movie. That's a bit of a spoiler, that actually. Before
Yeah,
it
you
comes
might
out.
want to watch the movie first, I reckon, before hitting.
Well, it's
play
gonna
on.
be
I
on the
reckon get you
website.
hyped and then where
Yeah.
these songs going.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Hype
then
track.
you're gonna know what's coming.
No. No idea what section, hey? What's your
Okay.
favourite song from the movie? Is there going to be any clues?
Huh? You have to wait till the
YMCA,
end.
innit?
Oh,
We could do the favourite song based on the segment.
okay.
Because I think we
I
can
like
pretty
that,
much
yeah.
go through the segments.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Quickly,
be
before
good.
we go on to that, if that's
Yeah.
okay. Group chats there from Death Grip OG. Who originally comes up with Death Grip 2 idea? And why? Why do you think it's important?
To be honest,
Not
it was
important, you know what I mean?
in the works for years. Because Death Grip 1, the original story was we went to Ibiza.
Oh, it was a story.
Yeah, we went to Ibiza and we all said we were going to do a movie.
Oh,
There must have been a lot of chatting going on at Ibiza, but we agreed. And I was like a rabbit in the headlights.
You'd have been so young.
If I say young, I was like 23 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, 24.
wow.
And just got
Wait,
to-
it first came, sorry to
Yeah,
not
yeah.
have you in the group, it first
sure.
came when me and Clay were at World Cups.
Yeah.
And he was a film and I was a rider. We became friends. And we were like, drunk at World Cup party. Like, yeah, dude, let's make a movie together. And that became like a thing. And we were like, it became a thing. We were like, let's do a movie. Then it was like, shit. Like, we keep talking about this. Like, we can we have the tools to make a movie. Like, let's do this. And then it happened. Yeah, it happened. And then, like, the second one, because the first one was so physically, mentally demanding on all of us.
Yeah.
I think Clay especially. It took us a long time to sort of reset, and then the industry went through, you know, turmoil and back again, and I was
COVID
racing.
happened.
COVID
We were going to do a year or
happened,
two
this, that, and the
earlier,
other,
but
and
Right.
It was too
And
hard
it-
to travel everywhere.
yeah, and it was, the first one was a huge success. It was like, we got on Netflix, dude. We got on Amazon Prime. We were like, what the fuck is going on? This is so sick. And I think there was definitely a certain part of like, shit, can we do this again?
Right. Yeah.
Like, is the second one going to be as good?
Yeah.
Are we wasting our time? Like, the industry is in like such a weird spot. I'm getting older. Can I keep up with the kids? Like, do I want to put all the extracurricular work in that needs to happen with all of us?
Yeah.
Like it's work like you don't understand. Like, coordinate with athletes, filmers, locations, hotels, food. You got to buy more flights. You got to get excess baggage. You got to get all these people in the right place at the right time. Permits for locations. Does the location have to stay, or do you have to go back afterwards and destroy it and make it back to normal?
And that's the thing, you had custom builds for about 8 out of the 10.
Yeah,
or like
custom build bikes, custom build
jumps.
locations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's a huge amount of like WhatsApp groups, emails, disappointments, like, and none of it would have happened if there wasn't like a huge amount of passion behind it. Like, if we didn't have Chris Seags has taken on the finance side of it. Like, he's in charge of paying if the invoice hasn't been paid.
Good at maths.
Well, the account's not
Siegs-
doing well, so maybe I haven't done a great job on it.
Siegs took
When I buy
hold
on
of,
iTunes, and pay everyone back.
took hold of the finance. I'm doing like pretty much producer role.
Yeah.
Like, all flights, logistics, communication, everything. And then Clay this time, very much, because he did so much on the first one. Not that he hasn't done anything. He's really edited hard. He's like edited like 5 of the 8 sections pretty much.
Yeah.
And like filmed like we've kept him like just absolutely focused on what he's extremely good at.
Yeah,
And we've
yeah,
all
yeah.
like focused on our strengths. Actually, organisation is not my strength, but it's pulled through.
Yeah.
We've got
Exactly.
it done. And it's been a real, like we said, it's 3 up this time. It's like 33, 33, 33. We
Right.
all know our strengths. We all like have divided it super well. There's been not many tears. It's been really, really good actually. Yeah.
And even this time we got a house in Godalming before the premiere, and all Clay and I just sat in there for a month editing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Finishing everything
Really?
off.
Yes, we
DEATHGRIP
got-
1, you're in my house.
we got-
Everyone in your house, yeah.
Oh my god.
So that was awful.
I think it's interesting thinking about the differences. So you were 23, DEATHGRIP 1.
24, I think, yeah, 23.
How
24.
old were you? 7 years ago.
I
remember-
it's on 28.
28.
So you were 28. What position were you on the world standings, would you say, at that point?
Well, top 5 or top 10.
Yeah. Because I remember the Netflix and
Don't
chill
ask me
butt
around
patch.
with the top
Yeah.
race
So
series.
sick.
Like that, like, so if you then fast forward it to now, think how mental it is to ask a top 10 rider to shoot a movie all over the world, all custom builds, all different riders.
Sit in a
different-
digger. Not gonna happen.
Like that is actually crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because what top 10 riders are we talking like here? We're talking.
It's not gonna happen, is it? No. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Wild thought.
Yeah, it is a wild thought. And that's why, because the sport's different, or like,
Don't know.
yeah.
Well, no one's stupid enough
No
to
one's
drive.
stupid
That's what I think is amazing.
No one's
I mean,
stupid
it's
enough,
not financially viable.
No, I would tell you that much.
We figured out the first one. I've done it again.
Yeah.
So
But even, as I say, selfishly, for every death group, we actually do what we want. Because I'm sure maybe we get more money from certain sponsors if it had to be some formula
Yeah.
and they want X amount, but that's not what Death Grip is for us. It's literally us 3 deciding what, I guess at the end of the day, what we think's cool, what music's like, and what the kids will like, what everyone's going to like.
Yeah.
So I think just keeping it broad to a whole range of audience while we're in complete creative control.
Right, I think it feels from watching it, it feels brand new, dude. It feels
That's
brand
so
new.
sick.
And I've seen I've seen the first one. I see the second one, and it is like wildly, like you can tell 7 years have passed.
Yeah.
Let's talk about why after the break. Davey, I want to talk to you about hindsight, dude.
Oh,
Right.
hindsight.
So much bike crime happens in the UK, and I dread to think how many people think, oh, I listened to that LAKA ad on the Ride Companion, and I wish I'd just carried it out, got insurance for my bike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, mate. You're right. So we're here to help, are we? Or is that what we're going to do?
Well, we are here to help, but
Yeah.
what I was kind of thinking was, I wish I could do the same with health insurance. You know what I mean? Because I'm banged up. I wish I could have just...
Yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
That's how I feel right
A lot
now.
of people live shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah, and so many people do with bike theft and like I am right now, wishing
Hindsight
that
is a gnarly thing, isn't it?
It is,
Sometimes
dude,
like,
yeah.
let's say, unfortunately, you have a bike stolen or you get injured and you just think, oh, imagine that time when I was sat in a chair on the website, ready to do it, and all I needed was maybe like a bit of a nudge, a bit of a deal, which we can offer.
Well, for bikes, obviously,
Yeah.
you go to LAKA. What do you do for health? Because that's obviously
Well, yes, you can also go to LAKA. I didn't know this either until recently, dude, but LAKA now offers health and recovery insurance. So,
What?
do you want a couple of facts?
I'd love a couple of facts. It's not already in my bike cover, is it?
It could be. Depends which bike cover you've got.
Okay.
It
Carry
could
on.
be. So it's a new kind of recovery policy for mind and body.
Right.
Made with cyclists in mind for less than an Americano a week. Depends where you get your Americanos from.
They're only like
What? A couple of quid?
couple of quid.
Cover that goes wherever you do, which is worldwide, like you, Mr. Worldwide.
Oh, thank goodness.
The
I didn't want
pitbull
to
of mountain biking.
I didn't want to ask a question.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks for doing
Cover that does whatever you do, which is cycling. You.
I like cycling, yeah.
Skiing.
Not got the bunts for
Maybe.
skiing, but maybe one day. You never know.
Hiking.
Hiking, I like hiking.
Like
I've been doing a lot of it lately. I'll tell you.
Surfing.
Surfing, I'd love to be able to surf, but I
surf
need to
guy.
swim first.
Yeah.
But it's good to know.
And jet skiing.
Jet skiing's on there. Are you serious?
Yeah, you got a jet ski.
They put jet ski on there.
Yeah, you got a jet ski on there. It's 5-star claims experience, home or abroad. And it's made super simple, dude. All you have to do, head to LAKA.co. Obviously, we talk about LAKA.co quite a lot.
LAKA.co.
They do the best bike insurance. It's made super simple. They flipped insurance on its head, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They don't charge you a fixed sum every month. You only pay for what the collective has sort of, what would you say?
Dealt with.
Yes, exactly. So you
And the
pay-
same goes for health as well, does it?
Same goes for health as well, does it?
Wow,
Yes,
that
it
is
does.
a cool model, that is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really cool. It's mate, I love LAKA.co. I'm glad we've got them back on board. And we have got a bit of a deal for the companionship, right? So all they have to do, head to LAKA.co to sort your bike insurance out. Enter the code RIDECOMPANION30. What is it?
Ride Companion 30. Is that lowercase?
No, it's uppercase.
All
And it's
up.
on screen. It's flashing red and blue.
Oh, yeah.
That's Ride Companion 30 at LAKA.co.
There you go. And what do you get for that? What is it like? What's the offer?
You're going to get 30 days free bike insurance.
Free
So for 30 days.
It's free.
30 days, you have 100% peace of mind for free. Man, that's a dream, really, isn't it?
It's really good.
Yeah.
You could be really cavalier.
Yeah, you
in those
can.
30 days.
Yeah, you shouldn't be,
No, yeah, good point.
but you could. So yeah, that's 30 days, free insurance, bike insurance, not health and wellness, with code RIDECOMPANION30 that's flashing red and blue at LAKA.co.
Amazing. So good to know they do health insurance. I'm going to get that added onto my policy
You
right
should.
away. We're back.
Great ad.
Right, so yeah, it was a good ad.
Fantastic.
I went to the... I actually got genuine goosebumps at the premiere. The premieres are a really cool night, aren't they? Like the London premiere was really quite something, wasn't it?
Same for us. It was just this whirlwind tour almost, because London's a big flagship one. Then we've never done so many, and even that before we did the UK premiere tour, I call it, where we did Bristol, Sheffield.
Davey helped us out, actually. Thank you,
Yeah,
Davey.
thank you very much.
Best one,
Yeah.
apparently, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Best one.
Yeah, best one.
And even the premieres, it's
Apart from
weird.
the quietest one.
Yeah. We were so invested in the premieres personally as well.
Yeah.
Because we had some people helping us, obviously, but even we sorted the ticket sites. Davey helped us a ton with that. But even I went to Bristol, tried to book it, put so much effort into all these premieres. Just so I think we did get quotes from certain people to help us out, and they just came back with ridiculous prices. And again, we're just a not self-funded film, but small funded film that just wants to get it to as many people as possible.
Feels like it's self-funded at the minute.
Yeah, and Bren's kind of self-funded it a bit.
It's and it was quite tight time frames as well. It was like, right, we're doing this tour, and it was like, right, we've got this amount of time to get it.
Yeah.
And obviously most cinemas were booked. We're ringing around bloody everywhere trying to get it into.
And even tickets, when people arrive there, like, we're giving them all wristbands, what's going on?
It's pretty YOLO, pretty sick.
We got to the point where you're here, just come in now. Like, you come all this way.
Yeah. And we only had a few where there was like well oversold people standing on the stairs and stuff.
That's most of our mates.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's part of it though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd way prefer it to be oversold and more oversold than like people sitting at each with a space in between to make it look more full. No, it's cool. We had a good time.
Premiere and long form is always cool, isn't it? And I think it's like, even in the last 7 years, it's become even more cool because you're so used to seeing mountain bike in vlog form, in TikTok, in Instagram. Like content now, what it means is, when you say content, all of us are responsible for producing short form content.
Yeah.
But then you're doing long form. So to see long form mountain bike movie in the cinema
with everyone
so cool,
hollowing and clapping, everything else.
How good was it? How good was it? So back to before the break, I said there was a big difference. What are the things that have moved on in the last 7 years that I'm referring to? Kind of what were the, like, because there's some shots in the movie that are literally like mind blowing, and I'm not film guy. I don't care about those things, and they really, really got me, like full goosebumps. I'm ready for it, dude. I know you boys. I've seen some of the clips, and still, I sat in the cinema and I was like, "Whoa!"
Well, basically, we get a good friend called Andy Lawrence, drone absolute whiz and lord, and even 7 years ago, the first day we didn't have FPVs. We just had normal drones. That's such a big step up for this movie.
Yeah.
And Andy's a good friend of ours, always works with us anyway. And he came to pretty much nearly every shoot. And he brought like a whole array of toys, putting slow-mo cameras on drones and everything else. And I think some of the shots people always talk about in the cinema, like, how did you shoot that? A lot of them are Andy.
Really, yeah. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
Isn't he? Like most bike stuff and F1 stuff and everything.
Premiership football stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I'm even going to say like the shots that won't even be in a Hollywood movie, because it's like, imagine getting a guy on an FPV drone, which means it's a smaller drone that's like really mobile and you can fly through anything. Like, what does the FPV stand for?
First person view.
First person view. So you normally would put a GoPro on there.
Yeah.
Which is like GoPro, £300 bit of kit. It's expensive, but if you crash it, like, you can all chip together and get a new one. Like, it's not the end of the world.
Crashing pretty good, and
100 quid each.
Bounce back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're talking 100 quid each. We're like, oh shit, this is going to come out of our book sales, whatever. But Andy's turning up at a shoot, which we only turned up at the last one in Madeira 2. But he's turned up with a camera called a
Free fly slow-mo one.
Yeah, what's it called?
Ember. Yeah.
He's turned up the camera called an Ember, which can shoot like 600 frames a second or like even more. It's like super, super slow-mo stuff.
Wow.
It's a real specialist bit of kit. And he's bolted it to an FPV drone. So we've got like, in effect, and back in the day, like to get that amount of slow-mo used to be a camera called a Phantom. Correct me if I'm wrong. No. Which is like $100,000 bit of kit.
And it was massive back in the day as well.
Massive. So now we have capabilities to put, in effect, super, 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 super slow-mo on this drone that flies under your three legs. So, and the first thing Andy says, he's like, I want to fly through your roost. And I was like, what? So he's like,
camera?
Yeah, with like this insanely expensive camera, like this drone, everything. It's just like, and when he takes off, it looks really not mobile. He's like
Kind of is like a big boat.
and it's sort of like boats around a bit, and I'm like
the GoPro one's a little jet skis one, and
like
that one's like having
exactly,
a big yacht.
the little one that goes, and this was like, whoa, you know, and I'm thinking that ain't gonna fly through anyone's legs, dude. But some, like what Seager said, some of these shots we've got. Why I said you probably won't get into a Hollywood movie or whatever, because no one's gonna fly 100 grand bit of kit through rocks and roost in like with a guy hitting a turn, roosting up all this stuff, and he's like, no, I'm not happy with that one. I want to like fly around you, then come through your roost, and there's like these rocks coming at you in 600 frames a second. You just see the tires moving, like the athlete twitching, like making micro adjustments. It's just like, boom.
Dude, sick. You're right. There's no way of making it happen other than what you refer to as a passion project. Because if you organised it, no one's gonna offer to put a camera on a drone.
Yeah.
No one's gonna be like, yeah, sure, you can fly that massive camera at me
Through rocks.
Yeah.
No.
and like when you get to a certain stage of budget or organisation, it just becomes impossible, doesn't it? Like the red tape becomes too much. So what you've ended up with is something that's actually like super hard to get, isn't it?
And I think even for Andy, he borrowed the camera. Big thanks to Lek for lending it to us. So I think same in a rental car where it's a rental, don't be gentle. So it definitely did a barrel roll on
Hopefully
the shoot.
Lek hasn't seen the movie.
Because if you look at the end credit, there is they're doing a full flip, but Andy managed to control it and save it whilst the camera's going around.
Nice.
He flew a little bit too low and just clipped the berm, and it did a full front flip.
Yeah.
And then he caught it.
But it's like you say, it's like you've not really planned for that. It's just happened because it's passion.
Yeah.
I don't think you can.
No.
I think honestly, like try and come up with that with a spreadsheet. This is what time you have to turn up. This is what the drone we need. This is all of those things and like the light and everything. It has to be like a small crew of people that really want to do it.
And you've like nailed it on the head. Like a small crew for me was like
Key.
crucial.
How would the crew have
Not
got
only
bigger?
because
What would you add?
we're paying for the crew,
Yeah.
but a small crew is way more mobile, way more like if you're leaving at 4 a.m, you're not waiting for one person. Everyone's there at 4. And another thing that I'll quickly just say is everyone wanted to be there. Like no one's like everyone's getting paid, but no one's like dragging their feet.
But same
and,
for
like,
Andy, he could be like such
Andy
a reduced rate. He could be
Andy
earning
getting paid 3-4 times the amount on another shoot.
doing what he normally does from Top Gear to Premiership stuff. Yeah.
Where he only has to fly 10 minutes a day.
But he was even messaging us, being like, "When's the next one? When can I come along?" Because he's so buzzing just to test his cameras and kit out.
So you've basically got everyone at their best. You've got from you as like your position in this one is almost as the host, right? Rider
Yeah,
wise.
definitely. I say yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm at my best. I'd say I was at my best in 2019.
No, but you know what I mean. You've got everyone at their best.
Yeah.
You've got Clay
I'm a
Dog,
prop,
you've got
dude.
Siegs,
I'm the
you've got-
prop that's in every segment.
Everyone wants to be there. It's amazing.
Yeah, and like even
the
you're down to riders.
yeah, riders like Jackson's in there. We had Vali and Marine, who are 1-2 in the world.
Yeah.
We're still lighting out.
That was an insane demographic.
Yeah.
We had Jackson Goldstone. We had Amaury Pierron. We've got like the best free riders. We even got Olly Wilkins out there, and he hates moving out of Surrey riding anywhere else.
And we got him all the way to New Zealand.
We got New Zealand.
As far as possible. As far as possible. I spoke to Kaos about it, and like you know, when you speak to someone who's like younger, I never quite. I've got that. I've got to an age now where I'm a bit like I don't quite know what's cool anymore. Like I don't necessarily quite know if he was so like after the premiere he was so like I can't believe I've been in this movie. It was so cool to see him like so fired up. Like obviously that's not a surprise, but you know what I mean. You
No, but it is
almost
a surprise.
expect
It's a surprise. Yeah.
And Chaos
someone
is in
younger.
that kind of demographic of like the short attention span media, where they're
And
Our
also
target
with his
market,
age,
yeah.
he'll be of watching DEATHGRIP 1
yeah.
or
Yeah.
DEATHGRIP OG or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But actually going back, like the amount of people that ride now because of DEATHGRIP
Yeah.
is so sick. Like I used to get like a message every 2 weeks or a week saying I got into riding through watching DEATHGRIP.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. But yeah, like Just all the athletes we got. Everyone was just they
Should we
were
go
stoked
through-
to
I
be
was
there.
gonna say, should we go through each segment?
Yeah, we should go through each segment and like the lineup. It'd be good.
Yeah, just some background, why, who, where, all that sort of stuff would be cool.
Let's do it.
Really cool. Now, I mean, I was saying before we started recording, I feel like I haven't seen this film in so long because I don't know how long it's been. Obviously, I came to the first premiere in London. Then we did our Sheffield one, which was busy. I was sat on the floor and whatever.
Yeah, but London was April, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time, hasn't it? So I need a refresher as well. I think I need some context.
Yeah,
I was going to try and watch it before coming down, but I haven't managed
28th
to.
of November, download it.
I will do, yeah. When is it again?
28.
Okay.
Should we say a few days just in case? 2nd December, 28th.
We could call this section story time with Siegs, and then you could literally read, because that is in timeline order of the movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the merch stuff, that is so sick to have. The book, like that's been on my coffee table since April.
Sick.
And I've picked it up most mornings. I've had a coffee. I've looked through the book.
Oh, mate, wicked. That's so
and
good to
just
hear.
been like, it's just a nice thing to have. And also, if you lacking motivation coming into winter in the UK and you want to go biking, read that book, watch the film.
Mate, wicked.
You'll
That's
be
so
out.
good to hear.
Yeah.
So good to hear.
Really, who was it who put that together?
It's like that's a hard one to do because obviously not everything's about money, but it obviously costs so much to make
bring all
nice
the
quality
photographers
but
for a
and
movie. We didn't really need them, but
and we had photographers at every shoot for like that for pretty much because of this.
Right.
For this. So obviously having stills to present to sponsors and this, that and the other are always good that we did promise. But you could have got a photographer on for half a day and got what we needed for that. Yeah. But this is what we wanted to do. And we had the book from the first one and it was just like a huge, something that we wanted to have.
Yeah.
Siegs, what's chapter 1?
Chapter 1
is the intro, Ollie's intro in the actual movie.
No. Oh, it's not in there.
No.
Not in there.
It's in the movie though.
Yeah, it's in the movie
Rad.
for sure. Ollie does another intro for a movie for Death Grip. So good. And well, actually, I mean, I'm not even going to give much of the intro away, but that's like
it's good.
I reckon, not to be big-headed, but that does blow your socks off. You're like, I'm in for a ride now, and you're only 2 minutes in.
What, his intro or the action intro?
The action intro. Yours is great too, though. Don't worry. Yeah. But chapter 1 is same as Death Grip 1, but we've gone back to South Africa.
Ooh.
To Cape Town, near Stellenbosch.
What brought you back there?
Well, it's not. It's actually
Franschhoek, isn't it? Yeah.
It's not actually the. It's not Franschhoek.
Where is it? Jeez.
Where were
Stellenbosch.
Was it Stellenbosch? Lawrenceford Wine Estate, I believe.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
There you go.
But
When you start even breaking down just this first part of it, and just thinking, we're sat here in the south of the UK, and you've done a film in another country, and there's been a track built, and it's already a lot. You're like, how the hell did you pull this together? It's so crazy.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest South African selling points are it's warm. You can, it's summer in January, so we can go there. You can't really film many other spots, in Europe at that time. So we can go to South Africa and it's dreamy. And big shout out to Duran and Justin, the trail builders. They always find a bit of land and you can kind of build what you want. Turns out maybe that we couldn't build exactly what we want afterwards, but till we filmed
I think
it
their
was good.
strategy was,
Ask for forgiveness.
Ask for forgiveness, 100%.
Ask for forgiveness after. But South Africa sits in the movie first, but it wasn't that. Madeira build was our first shoot and build.
Well, you've really messed up Siegs' story.
I have,
Yeah.
but you might as well know. This sits first in the movie because there's a lot of emotion attached to that. In my opinion, it's like insanely action-packed, dust everywhere. It's like in your face, like shit. Right, we're in.
This is
Like,
the
we're
Amaury
in.
section.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's Amaury
Amaury
Pierron
section.
in a movie section.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's Amaury Pierron in the movie section, riding as fast as he possibly can.
And the songs are pretty banger.
The song's banger.
Yeah.
So we went there in Feb.
There's two songs. Can I say that? I'll give one away.
Go on then.
The second one's Sub Focus, and the first one's even better. So
So to get an athlete like Amaury in February before the season already is like they're in insane training camps. He brought his trainer out with him.
Right.
Like there's a lot of already there logistics involved, like to get him there. So we just basically we had to make our schedules as loose as we can to accommodate athletes, and I didn't want to be the deciding factor that a shoot couldn't go ahead.
Yeah.
No.
So for the track build, what was the brief for the track build? Because obviously you've got the fastest guy, arguably one of the fastest guys on the planet.
So
what comes first, athlete or location? So do you know Amaury is headed to that one?
No, yeah.
No, all the track builds are like kind of my ideas.
Yeah.
I built quite a lot of them myself, but this one was actually built by Duran and Justin. So I'm like on a daily Skype call with them or like FaceTime call with them. They're in 2 diggers. The idea was a line, my line, Amaury's line. We have like 2 minutes or like a minute and a half of each, and then we join, and the rest of the track is together with me following Amaury, like desperately trying to keep up. So there's like Amaury gets his own standalone section to like really showcase what he can do. I've got my little section, and then we come together, like, and the coming together shot is so sick. We're just like woof, and these guys have like edited it so well. It's just like a glimpse of just like, I think Amaury's bombing down, and then you just see a rider in the background, and and it's just like a glimpse, and you're like, oh. Yeah, it's so sick. And then so the beginning is like us separately, and then we come together at the end, and it's a pretty sick one. But I mean, that shoot was so tough. Like the heat, Amaury got so ill.
We all got so ill.
Really?
He was on a drip for like 2 days,
2 days
in hospital.
Really?
From the bug. We all had the bug, but he got it like insanely bad.
Even I was meant to go on a surfing holiday with Sven Martin afterwards, and I spent 5 days in bed.
Did you?
Went surfing once, then flew home.
Oh, no.
But it was lucky because
shots are worth it.
It was it was January. We'd all booked to stay out longer. Most of us, because Amaury was also adding a little holiday on. I was adding a holiday on
with his trainer, so we were much for a holiday.
A sprints holiday.
Yeah, sprints in the sun. But luckily, we could all move it a few days back. And we had all sorts of mechanicals and all the rest really. That's what no one sees in the movie, but that one was honestly the toughest shoot we've ever done.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was saying the last few days, I just remember absolutely dying, like in the sun, just wanted to go straight back to bed. And then it was too windy in the mornings, couldn't even film. And then, made it happen.
Actually, a real good story I've just remembered. You'll see in the segment there's that we build a bomb hole, like we build a jump into a bomb hole, which is actually what we did in DEATHGRIP 1 in the Andrew Neathing section. We did the same in this one. This one is like, I thought it was a cool section, unique.
Yeah.
You don't ever see it, jumping out of a bomb hole into whoops. So we filmed like 3 days. My segment, Amaury's segment, we joined together. Everything just takes so much time. It's like you don't appreciate, even though we've got the most efficient crew you could ever have. Everything takes time. Like you can't film from 1 in the afternoon till 3 because it's like 40 degrees. So you have to like manage your time. An athlete, even if you're Amaury, you can't film from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. You're not strong enough. You can't do that. So we have to manage time, manage all this thing. Wind also, huge aspect in South Africa.
Right.
Anyway, Amaury gets super ill. We filmed a solo segment with me. We filmed a solo segment with Amaury. We've joined up. We've just got the last segment of track to film with both of us. And there's this shark fin that you jump out of into a bomb hole, and then you jump out, and we come together like this, and then join up, and we jump into some whoops, and it's the last thing we need to shoot. Amaury was in bed or like on a drip in hospital, and we're just like, we spent so much time building this cool thing, and it would like finish the thing so good. We even considered using another athlete in Amaury's kit.
Stunt double. No.
Yeah. Teo.
Yeah. No way. Teo was going to... Really? Yeah. Wow.
We teed up Teo to do it. He's like,
what guy?
Big guy.
Yeah, he's in there.
He's up for the job.
Rides a common, always
ride a common cell. But Amaury, Amaury, absolute savage, was just like,
no.
fuck that, I'm getting out of bed. Ripped the drip out of his arm. It didn't, but this is a cool story. Ripped the drip out of his arm, punched the doctor and walked out. you know, naked out, and as you see his butt, he was like,
Terminator.
He was like, nah, I'm not having that. So he came up and like shot the last afternoon.
Wow.
Jumping into there, like, gnarly stunt, like, which I had a mechanic on, which finished the whole shoot. Because I cased one of the whoops. Just a slight miss. Because it's so far, I'm jumping out to like a fifth whoop. And I misjudged it and cased it, and it was the end of the shoot. You can imagine what happened.
It's a wrap.
Yeah. But yeah, he came back from the dead and like shot the last half day, and
A hero.
But like I don't know, like, would we have changed anything?
No, it would have just gone a bit smoother.
Yeah.
We'd probably been at the beach drinking cocktails.
Yeah, your holiday would have been nice, wouldn't it? Yeah.
So yeah, that was that. That was a sick one.
Yeah, it's a banger section to kick off that movie.
Yeah.
It's so good.
What's chapter 2, Siegs?
Right, chapter 2. Whose line is it anyway? Madeira, with Tommy G and Bren. Bren's in everyone. I don't want to ruin the story
is he?
for
Yeah.
you kids. Yeah.
Tommy G.
Lad.
What a guy.
Absolute sick guy. I love riding with him.
Did you
He's like-
imagine these sections before?
Yeah.
With these people, I mean.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got quite a wild imagination and like goes back a long time, and
Yeah.
So Tommy G, I guess you sort of became mates, probably Rampage, right?
yeah. And we've done a few like little like projects together, and like what he does. He's like I think he's been underrated at Rampage for years. He's like a slopestyle G, sick on a downhill bike. So we built some pretty cool stuff in Madeira for him.
And Bren was meant to learn some dump threes, but
Can't do it.
didn't quite do it for the movie, so he thought we'd get the most OG guy at dump threes in the movie instead. And that was Tommy
like
G.
3 1 foots are so sick.
Yeah.
Love to be able to do them like that.
Oh, so good. Yeah,
So,
so
building that track, what was the process for that? You know, I'm gonna guess you can't just start building everywhere and anywhere. So
I went
how
out
do
to
you-
scout,
yeah,
and the original plan was 2 gullies. They have these big gullies there where they used to pull like logs down from the forest. So there's like big gullies that have just been bowled out. And the idea was to have 2 gullies that like jumped into each other.
okay,
That was the original plan. And when we got out there, we went with Sea Dog, my brother, a couple of other guys.
I think I came scouting with you,
Good.
didn't I?
Did you? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
No, you scouted the very, very first one with my dad.
Yeah,
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like 10 years ago, dude.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No, I came to the gully, I swear.
Did you?
You are Mr. Madeira,
Yeah.
so I would believe it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Anyway, yeah. That's
Yeah,
not
so
funny with your dad.
We attacked this first gully with a machine. Like, it's full of logs and trees or whatever. And I was like, wow, this is taking so long. Like, let's just get one gully completely done. And then John Fernandez, who's like our fixer in Madeira, was like, oh, I know another location. So I was like, go on. So like halfway through like the 3rd day, I went to go to check this other location. And I was like, right, let's get the machines over there. So we got to move 2 5-ton machines over to like an hour drive over the other side to another location, which split the segment up really well. It's like the first bit's like in these gullies where we're jumping in and out of this gully and then jumping over each other and under each other, and it's like it's really dynamic and super sick.
I think for me as well, that's one of my favourite builds.
Yeah.
Because it was so unique when we got there, and especially for Madeira, we had 2 different lines, and the other line was a bit more classic Madeira, on the hill, good views, like what you imagine and expect. But this gully was like nothing I've ever seen before, really, even in any bike movie, let alone in Madeira. There's like fallen logs and trees, and they're just crisscrossing and jumping over each other.
So from your perspective, when you turn up and you see the line that your mates dug, what are your like first thoughts? Do you have to like come up with like what's your vision at that point?
I mean, to be honest, that one was instantly, you know, if locations are kind of going to work, and I think we walked up it to start with, and I thought, wow, this is cool, because I can obviously see where the lips and landings are, and it's like, yep, they are going to go over each other. And there was also a bit of hype before it from you guys because I heard what was going on. So I was like, have they pulled it off? And I got there and I was like, yeah, they pulled it off.
You have to remember that, like, this is a vision that we've gone out to dig, and then by the time we get there, we haven't ridden it. So we've brought the whole crew over, the athlete over. We haven't tested any of this shit. So it's just like...
Very rare jumps just work as well.
Of course, yeah. Of course. So then I don't want to big this stuff up that I've built too much just in case it's shit.
It's not shit, dude.
No, that's what I mean. Like, but it could have been.
Oh, sorry.
You know what I mean?
Like,
it could have been. Like, we could have got there and like the first jump couldn't have worked, and then you can't get into the second jump.
Yeah.
Then the third jump doesn't work, and then you can't jump there. Then you just like, it could be a huge nightmare. And a lot of the time I'm building it like 2, 3, 4 months before we go back out there. So I have to go out 2 or 3 days out before, rake it, prep it for when all the boys fly out.
And we were there for 6 days, and it was actually, this one was our most productive shoot.
It was the best one by
on
far.
DEATHGRIP.
Oh, really?
Because the gully, we needed it to be cloudy in the mornings to film there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it was
Patchy light.
really, really bad patchy light. But every morning we got there, till 11, 12, it was perfect cloud cover. Went to the scenic spot in the afternoon, just banging sunsets. And we're like, how have we got so lucky?
Yeah, like-
and it happened 4 days in a
Yeah.
row. To the point of the 5th day, we were like, we've actually filmed everything.
Yeah, we were like, what should we do?
That's so rare, isn't it? You
Yeah.
never think about the buffer of time because you think 6 days. Oh, it sounds like quite a nice little trip. Go down these trails, but it's never that easy, really. Is it?
And also it was like the gully filmed from 8 in the morning, like Seager said, till 12 in the afternoon or 1 in the afternoon. But it didn't film good before 8 in the morning.
Right.
So it was too dark.
Right.
So for an athlete, we don't have any 4 o'clock wake ups. So we're just like,
Knee pads
we
are
don't
on the
have
side.
to get the knee pads on at 4 a.m. Well, actually, we did one day for the ridge line, the opening sequence. But, you know, often what people don't know is that if a segment has good light, it's either at 6 in the morning or at sunset.
Right.
And sunset goes way quicker than sunrise comes up. Well, it feels like it. So you get a bit more time in the morning. So often you're up at 4 prepping on your kit on, pads on, walk to the top, ready for when the sun comes up, which didn't happen on this shoot. We were just like film from 8, so we were like up at 7, nice breakfast, to the zone at 8, film till 1, 3 or 4 hour lunch break because the second zone didn't hit till like 7 in the evening.
Nice.
So it's just like so good.
I imagine Tommy G's the dream to film with as well because he's filmed so many sections. Like, kind of, is that the case with everyone? Like with racers, I imagine some people are quite actually reluctant.
Luckily, I think everyone on DEATHGRIP was so stoked to be there and so good at filming. Just never, no complaints. Just wanted to get the job done. And I guess they can see like how passionate and creative everyone is. And
efficient.
Guys are, yeah. Because as well, we don't really waste time. So they're like, oh, they're not making us do it 5 times. They haven't got the shot. They're getting it.
Yeah.
In the first shot. If not, they might need one more. We're not just messing them around, making them push up endlessly.
I got a dumb question, possibly. I think this might be a common knowledge, but I'm thinking of this as like a band. All right, so you all got your little thing that you do in the band. You and Clay,
triangle.
Yeah, triangle. You and Clay, you're both filmers, but do you both specialise in something particular? Like, so when you're looking at a zone, are you like, okay, Clay's going to obviously do that bit because that's his speciality, and you're going to do something different?
No, good question. But I think
Thank you.
Clay and I, we are actually fairly similar. So I always looked up to Clay as well, being like the focus pull master.
Yeah.
So I got into that one too. But then same with Clay loves a good fisheye, and so do I. But also I've really got into the cinema zoom, so like 18 to 80 with the toggle. So you need these crazy shots where you zoom in. And I think even on this one, we didn't actually have any gimbals or anything in a lot of the shoots. We just had us 2 on the ground.
We had no movies, huh?
1, that was it. Yeah.
Wow.
Or 2 in Leger as well, I guess. But yeah. And then with Andy as well. But I think it's just quite, I say, dynamic and fast, a lot of handheld filmmaking as well. Because obviously it is DEATHGRIP. There are going to be some slow-mo bits for sure. I'm going to show us some fancy cameras. But a lot of it was pan and zooms on the, like we've got these 18 to 80 lenses where we've got a little zoomer.
Right.
So we can just zoom in and out and actually make it. kind of look back to the old Earth days and back to the old Sprung days, so you really show that riding, how
and this
wild
is something
it
that you two are always talking about. You know, I'm going to shoot this way, you're going to shoot that way.
Yeah, but honestly, I'd say it's almost so seamless. If one of us stands in a shot, we'll know exactly where the other one needs to go.
Yeah.
So if Clay's doing a focus pull, I'll be on the side pan or a fisheye, and absolutely, vice versa as well. The same with Andy knows how to link shots to us almost as well.
Wow.
And often we'd like go there in the morning. We'd be like so efficient that the athletes do 2 runs, just GoPro runs.
Yeah.
So while the filmers are setting up, we use GoPro runs because obviously you can't have any filmers or anyone in the shot of a GoPro. So the track's got to be clear. 2 runs, just purely GoPro, where like the filmers will set up, find their spot. Athletes get 2 runs to warm up. And then out of those 2 warm-up runs, we've got probably some nugs on the GoPros, you know? So it's like, that's already productive.
Yeah.
You've warmed up, you've probably got a few GoPro runs. These boys have got their positions. Off you go.
Wow.
And even doing GoPro runs at the start, same with the old Rat Boy and Schladming on Death Grip 1. If you do GoPros at the start a lot of the time, you get the best reactions. Because, they haven't ridden it 20 times or pushed up. They're just riding top to bottoms as well. And I think that for filming is rare. You don't really do many top to bottoms because you're always doing this section, this jump and this jump. But just letting everyone go off in the morning, do a few runs and just get hyped and warmed up to it, I think always helps a ton.
Like you say, it's just efficiency. You're just getting that.
Honestly, I'm going to struggle to film with anyone else.
Yeah.
Right.
Nailed it.
We're on to the next one.
Ooh, we're back to story time.
Chapter 3. There are some coordinates in here, but I won't read them out. It's in Mexico. Actually, you are the man to, I reckon, do little Mexico intro of where it was.
Mexico intro, yeah. So it was in Guanajuato. Were you just trying to avoid saying that? Yeah. So it was in Guanajuato. We, obviously, I was actually already there for the street race, which we built with Christian and the BSI crew. And you basically wanted to do something around the urban race, right? With Jackson Goldstone. Pretty cool opportunity that all together, just as something that you can package up. Quite nice, quite different.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, I was actually very keen to do this street one.
Yeah.
And some of the boys weren't sure how we were going to do it exactly and how we were going to mix it all in. But you guys obviously built the course and the race was there, and it was, for me, kind of this perfect scenario.
Can I say, I'm honestly, if I know we've just talked about how efficient you boys are. I cannot believe how many shots there are from the race. And bear in mind, the street race, riders do not get a lot of runs. Like, it's really high stress. One of the hardest things about street racing, because obviously you have to close the whole town. And with so few runs, it's so banger. I actually know how you boys even did it. Like, you didn't get any extra time. This is your practice runs, and you filmed a section.
Yeah.
Because even a lot of the streets, you can't film. We obviously filmed a few bits afterwards, but a lot of the open stuff, there's loads of public.
Yeah.
So you can't just go back and have completely zero people standing there. So we had to really nail those shots on the days, and then a few little stair ones where it wasn't that obvious we could fill in after. Nice.
Yeah, and also thanks to Fosforo for helping out with that. Fosforo's like the organizer of that event. I was communicating with him the whole time, telling him what our plan was, what the vision was, and he was super cooperative and open to helping out. So
I think it's cool as well that you took Jackson out of his
comfort zone. Yeah.
I
think that in 2 ways. I regret that, and I think it's quite cool because I think for me he's one of the best riders in the world right now.
Yeah.
And to like almost ruin it on a street race was like kind of annoying, but I wanted to see him like as flat out as he could in his element.
Yeah.
But it was cool seeing him there. He killed it. He was like, the story was rad. Even after we finished that segment, filming it, I was like, maybe this is not a Death Grip segment, because it's like there was no like banger. There was no like real like build up to a banger, or like often some of the sections have got like 5 sick bangers that you just want to go back and look. But huge testament to Seager he took this one took this one on. There's a bit of a story behind this segment.
Okay.
There's like the music sick, the build up sick, like everything just worked so well. And even when like I said, when we finished filming, I was like, we've had a good time. Might be a waste of 25 grand. This might not work. Whatever, but it's like, you know, you can't win every single thing. I'll tell you that for free. But I was like, whatever, like, it might not be a segment. Seager went away, edited it, put it together. We've got sound design, we've got graphics in there, like some comedic, cool stuff in there. The music works super well. Like it just is so sick. As soon as I saw the first draft, I was like, yeah, done. This is so sick. Right. And honestly, like a lot of people that have seen the movie, like say, wow, that Mexico segment is so sick.
It's Georgina's favourite section.
Bear
in mind.
There you go, and that's all you need.
It has the Danny Mac effect. Is that
Yeah, I
section?
think
It's her favourite section.
Because
The
people
music.
can relate to stairs.
Yeah.
Again, not, you know,
So relatable.
works perfect.
I'm in the movie and this is her favourite section.
Yeah.
So unfair. She pulls up in her car to the drive. I can hear the music playing. She plays the music in her car.
So good.
No, it's annoying, Bren. Now, I love the Mexico section. It's so good. And like, and actually, when we were there, it was a struggle because it was like, you kept us on to like maybe build something in the streets, and it was just so difficult, wasn't it? Like,
so odd. Yeah, we kept you boys on, like the BSI crew on for like a couple of days after the race because we hung out because we wanted to pick up shots we might not have got or like the dream was honestly to go build, like kept the boys on to go build some massive like big stair gaps or like a jump over a roof, over a house or like something death grip, you know, something like, whoa, that's gnarly. We never found that. We never properly found that there. So we found ourselves driving around a lot, finding some cool stair sets, finding this, that, and the other. But do you know what? Even without that real banger, it's really sick. I love it.
I think
I love it.
Jackson's shot down the stairs that Andy got is one of my definitely favourite shots of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's one of those shots as well you don't know how it's done, which I always like about films. You think, is someone riding in front of him or is it a drone or like...
that's one of the questions, isn't it, that one?
Yeah, leaves everyone guessing a little bit.
Yeah.
But now I've revealed it, so ruined.
Well, you see that Jackson's collabing with GoPro bike on that shot on the 28th of November. Nice. So yeah, which is pretty cool. Which is really cool of GoPro, not GoPro bike, Red Bull bike. Which is really cool and open-minded of Red Bull to do that with him. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Jackson also got really ill on that shoot, actually. That was the
had,
start
like,
of his appendicitis, wasn't it?
Well,
really?
he had gnarly nosebleeds as well.
Yeah.
Is that no? He had really gnarly nosebleeds.
Yeah.
To the point where he was in bed for like 2 days.
Really?
Is that an exaggeration? No.
Yeah,
he was
he
in
did.
bed for 2 days. And then we couldn't film, and then the very last shot actually, we just like died. Actually, is it in the movie? We had to ask him to come up and do a last shot, and he was literally a corpse. He was a corpse. I felt so sorry for him, but he pulled through. He did it. He was stoked. Even all of that off. That
was it last
dirt
year
section.
then, that race?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year, yeah.
No.
Year before.
Year before.
Yeah.
Year before.
Yeah, year before.
Yeah, he got second.
Yeah.
Didn't he? Yeah. Was it year
Nuts.
before? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, crazy.
23.
Huh?
23, yeah.
That is last year.
That's last year.
I was last, yeah.
It was last year's event, not this
Oh,
year's
sorry.
just gone.
It's not the last event. It's the one before.
Yeah, 23.
They had one this year.
Yeah, 23. Yeah.
Because Madeira 2 was the only one I actually filmed in 24, right?
Yeah.
And some intro bits and everything else. So, yeah.
Chapter 4.
Not in Hull.
What's it
Olly
called?
Wilkins named this one,
there we are.
You'll see in the movie. And we are not in Hull. We
Shout
are
out Holl, man, in the north of England, you know?
Queenstown.
I've got to stick up for us, you know? It's not that bad. Hull
it
is
not?
that bad, yeah. Hull is that
Is it as good as Queenstown, New Zealand, though? I'm not sure.
City of culture, Hull. Fun fact.
I couldn't believe New Zealand. I'd never been.
Yeah. And that was the Flux Trail crew killed it on that one. That was
my goodness, yeah.
Dave McMillan, Remy Morton,
Yeah, that
Niels and the boys built.
that was one where I was gonna fly out and help out, but then it just
It's 25 hours away.
25 hours away. We have those guys that are way better at building than me, that are just there that we just
Give the viewers a sneak.
The viewers a sneak. That's beautiful, isn't it? Not Holl.
So my vision for this section was that we all start on a massive ridgeline at the top of a mountain, and we ride down a ridgeline, and as the ridgeline goes down, we go into the woods. So that was quite, an out there thought, because where is there just a ridgeline that you could go ride and a cool wood section that you can go ride within 2-hour radius. So I was speaking to Dave McMillan the whole way. He suggested him building. Actually, I was in Whistler at an after party in Whistler, pretty intoxicated with alcohol. Went over to Dave and I was like, "Dude, let's get this going. Let's come to New Zealand and make it happen." And he was like, "Yeah." He was so stoked. Next morning, he texted me. He was like, "Did you mean what you said?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it." So we got Dave and the Flux crew building this trail, and this one actually didn't really have much to do with the tool. I wasn't really on. He was updating with a few pictures, but really not much. And I was like, "Shit, this could go either way." Not that I didn't trust him at all, but I was like, whatever. And this section is on trail bikes. We're all on 150mm trail bikes, so it's mix it up. So we got there, flew 25 hours the other side of the world, turned up at this track, and we were just like, whoa.
But actually, to mention, I was in New Zealand the month before for another shoot, and I met up with Dave just to have a look, but it was 15-20% done.
Oh, really?
And I was thinking, all right, there's fair bit to do here and finish off. And you show me where to go, and I was like, yeah, it looks epic, but no idea what we're gonna do. And then I arrived, and I was like, how on earth have you done all this? And their attention to detail is insane. You must have appreciated that. It's kind of like Jimmy Pratt's spot, isn't it? The attention to detail and all these little things they did around it.
Mate, it's ridiculous.
It's not like a Bren log build. It's first fix, bang, I'll do next.
Can you tell the anecdote about the helmet?
Oh, the helmet was, so that was fucking, so we were in a helicopter. Well, you have, basically we got to it was absolutely unbelievable being in a heli. I've only been in 2 helis.
Same,
before.
mate.
Yeah. I know even that is obviously.
Really?
But I've only been in a couple. And just the scenery there. Where was it called? Milford's?
No. We're in Queenstown. We were just south of Queenstown, but not in Milford.
I forget what it was called.
What was No, it was it not? No. Okay. So it was just Queenstown. It felt very remote.
Yeah.
So we've driven quite a long way just out to the countryside. Been picked up from a helicopter, which is ridiculous, and dropped off. I mean, honestly, there was a number of times on this shoot that I just thought, what on earth?
Yeah.
We're flying around in a helicopter, and just pointing at ridges, that one could be good.
Yeah.
Or what about that one?
Oh, is this scouting too?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
The brief was that we went up first.
Yeah.
And I gave the helicopter pilot a brief. I said, I want a ridgeline 300 metre long that we can just ride down. I want it as gnarly as you can possibly get us. So this guy's obviously just full gnarly Kiwi mountain guy. He's just all right. So we flew around, honestly, for 20 minutes, and that's it. And I was like,
my bad.
That's my alarm in the morning. That's terrifying.
And mine.
Jarring.
I'm up.
And everyone listening.
Yeah.
And he's I'm we're looking around. I was like, oh, that one, maybe, no, that one. Within 10, 15 minutes, I was like, that one. And he was like, okay. I was like, can you land on that ridge? So he went down. I swear to you, Olly, back me up, on a ridge. He's balanced a helicopter on the ridge. He's almost put it on the ridge, almost wiggled it on. He's got out of the door with it still running. So it says I'm in the front, the boy's in the back, and he's gone do not get out. And I was like,
but you're out.
Yeah.
But also, to add to this, we were in the heli, and he's like, yeah, I can land anywhere. And we're like, all right, land on that ridge. And he literally went, ooh. I'm not sure.
He did a couple of passes.
Yeah.
Really?
A couple of passes. And when, looking back, because he got out and then he reached back in.
Why did he get out?
Well,
to see like where it was sat, whether it was on any precarious rocks or like
3 contact points, don't you? You want it to be like, because you can't see anything. You can see through.
Cool. We just got out.
It's a big Bell helicopter. It's like a big helicopter. It's not like. But he got out and then he reached back in to the collective thing. He reached back into. I really paid attention to that because I was obsessed just looking at all the controls, like what he's doing, every single movement he did. I was just like, and he reached back in, and I think that was because basically the helicopter is kind of in a semi-hover, so it's basically teetering, and then you have to add friction so that none of the controls move because you know a heli is like that control is floppy. It's not. You don't take your hands off in a helicopter, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I found that unbelievable. I was just like watching, and then when he reached back in, I was like, what would have happened if he hadn't reached back in? But I think we would have just...
You imagine the heli going, and he's just like,
dude.
Whoa!
But the heli did go.
Yeah.
And Olly Wilkins did have his helmet outside the heli. The heli took off. Next question, Olly was like, has anyone seen my helmet? Nope. And after no one was playing the initial prank, we thought we were.
I really
thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
And the helmet had rolled down the mountain.
Because you play the prank on the guy that's the most obsessed with helicopters, don't you? You play the prank on the guy that's like looking at everything.
But we didn't know you were a helicopter obsession back then.
Oh. No?
No.
Didn't sort of sense any excitement.
But we're all like insanely excited. Like, but then he circled down and like almost pointed to where the helmet had gone. But we didn't know. We couldn't talk to him.
Yeah.
You're in the middle of nowhere.
That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I went for a hike for, I'd say, 20 minutes.
Yeah, you really pulled through, yeah.
And then it got to the end, and you know when you're just walking down something, there's starting to be cliffs, and you're like, this is actually too gnarly now.
It was sketchy, wasn't
Turned around, and the helmet was like 20 metres back up the hill, like jammed in between a rock.
No way.
I was like, no way it's
Peaked down, all banged up. By the way, as well, I am so weird about my helmet. I'm so anally protective over my helmet. I hate it when it bumps stuff, which is like really unlike me in everything else in life, but just a helmet. So it was quite stressful for me because I knew I'd had it in my hands and I knew I'd placed it down really carefully. Don't put helmets upside down.
You just roll down a mountain.
Blown off. Like, yeah.
But like we're like, can you dump us here? We want 2 hours or 3 hours. So we had to dump us, go down and get the rest of the crew, come back up, dump us again. And I was like, leave us 2 hours and come pick us up. That was it. Like, he could have just left us there, you know. It's like there's no
proper remote.
Well, I say proper remote. It's like 20-minute helicopter flight into the middle of nowhere. So that's not really proper remote. But you know, like, it would have taken us a day to walk out.
Yeah.
So gnarly.
Yeah, it would have taken more than a day.
To walk out. Yeah. So it's on the top of this on top of this mountain in the middle of nowhere, and we just like so. We don't even know this ridge is rideable. We just looked at it from the heli above. So me, Dave, and Olly just like dump the bikes, scramble up this cliff, and just like spend the next hour just like moving rocks aside and like making. We don't have a shovel or anything. We're just like making it rideable for a couple of runs, and then he goes and gets the other camera crew, and then before we know it, we've got 10 of us up there like. Drones and photographers and whatever,
Wow.
And then we spent 2 hours or whatever up there.
That's so cool to add that context to that shot.
Yeah, get 3 or 4 runs of it. One of the runs, it's in the movie, like this big rock comes out in front of, was it in front of you or in front of, Dave knocks a rock out, big like slab rock out in front of Olly. Because we're just like literally placing rocks to make it rideable down there. And it's like real sick start to the section.
See, I remember we took the Inspire, the big drone, but I don't know what was wrong with it. It was just taking off and doing its own thing. So I'm literally at the top of this mountain trying to battle the Inspire to come back. And the boy's like, are you ready? I'm like, yeah, hold on.
Oh, really? You are?
Yeah.
It's quite high pressure, isn't it, when it's like that? When you've all heli dropped in, it's quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's what wild experience. And I'm pretty scared of helicopters, weirdly. I think of them as like, I love them, but I think of them as like diggers that float in the air. You know, they're like so hydraulic and mechanical. It's not like a wing you can understand. So it's quite like scary. It was like, you know, you've got to do good biking and it's cost lots of money and stuff, but also just going in the air in a thing that floats is like
wild. Eh?
Yeah, and then we killed it, and then we saw like the heli come back and get us, and it was all just like, and then we go back and like film back in the woods, which is like this like flux sick trail that's been built for us. That we just like do lap after lap after lap, and not only that, we don't have to push up. Like those guys have got like a side by side with a bike rack on the back, and we just do shuttle run.
It was insane to film actually, because
Yeah,
the
we were
boys are
just like,
literally Clay and I are honestly running to the next spot. The track was, I guess, 30 seconds long or something. So
we had
they're
2 30-second ones, or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're whizzing through, getting straight on the Polaris and going straight up, and it was like probably like a 3-4 minute ride back to the top. Clay and I just sprinting into the next shot.
Pretty crazy memories from that, because it's not like you've done 2 death grips now, so you've done 2 loads of all of those shoots, so you know what it's like. But the reality of actually shooting like that is like 4 a.m. knee pads on first and foremost. Like, then there's radios that tell you when you need to be dropped off. So you're just lapping. It's time sensitive because of the sun. So there's like moments where I definitely, for me, like not even being like, God, it sounds just like wet, but like, we've been mates for a long time, and in New Zealand I was thinking like, what on earth, dude? It's like 3, 2, and we've got all knee pads on and we're riding these jumps, and it's like, essentially we do it all the time at home. We're just like biking at home. But I think about like,
it's so cool that you two have these
journey.
moments though, from riding the woods round here. Then you're in New Zealand in a helicopter.
Dude, it's ridiculous because there's all these cameras everywhere, and they're all like
built sick track.
Yeah, and they're all great mates, and you've got friends that you've met from all around the world. Like Dave's an amazing rider and someone I like look up to. Like Dave's one of those Instagram posts that you keep looking back at, and then you're just in it. You're in, and you're all alone, trying to be quiet, waiting for the radio. 3, 2, 1, and like.
And you're conscious that you don't want to screw up the shot, because you've got 2 other riders that you're going to... Not only 2 other riders, you've got filmers, and you don't want to be the guy. So every shot, you don't want to be the guy, so you have to like perform every time.
It's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is.
If anyone had said to you when you guys were younger, this would be a reality, like you would not have believed it by a long shot.
And you got so much. You got to keep all the bikes in one piece. Like all the filmers have to be in the right spot. Like everything has to cut together. Like,
and you got to keep up with 2 people who I genuinely regard as 2 of the hardest turn slappers. Hopefully, I just about hung in there, but it was honestly nightmarish. It's 2 loads of their roost, and they're both like roost factories. Those 2 dudes are like. Absolutely, the worst
ironically,
guys.
you've got the best roost shot in that section.
For turn whacking, this could be the best section, I reckon,
mate,
right?
Absolute nightmare. I had a nightmare of a job on.
Whip the biggest and have the biggest roost.
I actually felt so, because I've definitely felt like, I'm not stupid. I know I'm there, sort of. I'm your mate. It's wicked. Like that lineup of riders. It's like. I don't know. Just in my own head, I'm not stupid. And I was actually super worried about like making sure got something. So I was stoked in the movie when there was like.
Is there any other returners from one and apart from yourself?
Bren told me that as well, and I was like, fuck.
That's nuts.
I'd say it's nuts.
Yeah.
Same with Amaury, people who filmed them before, but actually not for Death Grip.
Yeah, not for Death Grip.
Yeah.
Two attempts, 2 different bikes, 2 different. Yeah, it's sick. That's really cool.
You and me, the only 2
returners,
double death grippers, both hands.
Sick. That's nuts, actually.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that was it. I've got real fun moment. And then the song we originally picked for that section was really a in the gang. Me, Chris, Seager, and Clay. Clay hated the song.
Did he? Yeah,
hated
it.
Hated it.
And this is but it's the.
No, it's the song that's not in it anymore. Couldn't get the rights for it.
Oh, so is that one in
song.
it?
No, the one you saw was it's not changed. Yeah.
Okay.
But it was doing as well as Outfield.
The song,
but yeah,
the Outfield, like My Love by the Outfield.
That's what I did. Did you not get it?
Yeah, I got it.
You got it.
And I loved it. Siegs loved it. He edited the whole section to it. We were stoked. Clay hated it.
It's quite good there's 3 of you because you get a deciding vote.
Clay hated it. Fair enough, but he was like,
and it was a
willing-
passionate hate. It was
Really,
it wasn't like,
and he had a few other people that hated it as well that was getting on his side and ganging up. But like, we were like, whatever, like we like it, whatever. We're gonna run it. It's something super different. You never hear that in a movie before, like in a mountain bike movie before. Blah blah blah. Turns out that they wanted like an astronomical amount of money that it wasn't feasible to use that song, so we had to pull it out of the section at the 11th hour.
Right.
We found another, what I think is like
actually
equally as sick.
yeah,
I
actually so
maybe
stoked
liked
on it.
more. Yeah,
Yeah.
a really cool song to go.
Are all
with
of the music rights within a similar amount, or are some like you're like what they want? That's so
basically
cheap.
how our music supervisor structured it. She did 3 tiers, so it basically Universal really helped us out because they gave us a massive act for quite like a reasonable price. And that was a bartering chip for every other song.
Got you.
If this is tier 1, like you can't possibly be more than this band.
Right.
How's that how it works?
Yeah.
Cool.
Is
So you
this
said the bar.
Oasis? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not it. Imagine.
Another UK band though, let me tell you.
So Solid Crew.
So solid. But they were tier 1.
So solid.
They were tier 1, and that was kind of the bargaining chip for the rest. And then we had like tier 2, tier 3. And luckily, well, we didn't even have to lie. It is a passion project at the end of the day. We do have big sponsors, but we are.
Yeah.
I mean, Bren's funded currently a lot of himself, so we're not a massive,
But from
big
their side, I
corporate
bet they're like,
film.
yeah, everyone says this. Everything's a passion project.
But
Yeah, we
they
could probably say it now actually, but like
Ghostbusters 3.
Yeah.
but they believed it, and even with DEATHGRIP, the music's such an integral part of it. Like people download playlists.
Yeah.
It's
not
what's
like it's
refreshing
just,
as well.
exactly.
It is.
It's not like it's just narrated over the top. It's the music's front and center.
Yeah. Just like initially what we talked about, like the original Earths and Sprungs
Yeah,
and like
exactly.
and obviously music is such like a subjective thing.
Yeah, it's
like,
polarising,
opinion,
yeah,
everyone's
for
got
sure.
like
Yeah.
different feelings and opinions, and so you can't keep everyone happy.
No.
And that's what you have to understand from the beginning. You can't just have it all hip hop. You can't have it all death metal. You can't have it all electro, even though Clay would have it all electro. But you have to.
Or
I
drum
think-
and bass because I'm from Bristol. But
Yes.
there's enough of it in there too. So
You can't. You have to just like almost say like screw everyone else. What works best with the? What do you like? What works best with the location, the style that we're trying to get, like, and that's in budget. You'll be surprised some of the songs we got there. We're pretty stoked on them.
yeah, hyped.
But yeah,
Is this chapter 5?
can I go for a quick toilet break? For
Yeah,
chapter
I was
5?
about to call the break. We're off to an ad break.
Olly's just nipped to the bathroom, so I thought I'd just have a quick HUEL break, which is actually the perfect segue into this ad. We are extremely excited to welcome HUEL to the podcast. If, like me, you end up running late, you don't have time for breakfast, and you just end up starving all the time, like I do. We've all been there, all right? You're racing around, you're trying to do meetings, you're doing school pickups, which I don't do. Whatever it is, you're going to need something delicious, easy, quick, nutritious to fill the void. So this podcast is now sponsored by HUEL, HUEL, the world's #1 complete nutrition brand with over 400 million meals sold worldwide. Yes, you heard it right. That's 400 million. HUEL is trusted by people just like you and me to fuel their days with convenient, complete nutrition. So you can now actually try it for yourself with our exclusive discount code. You can get 10, in fact, no, we're not doing 10. We're going to do 15% off with our code RIDE at huel.com. But I also want to tell you about my personal favorite, okay? Strawberry banana. My 2 favorite things. I love strawberries. I love bananas. You can't go wrong with putting them together. Plus adding 35 grams of protein. These things leave you feeling full, and you're not like scratching around for food in gas stations. You're not grabbing a quick fast food meal or whatever. You can actually tick that nutritional deficiency off with a good quality product. So yeah, this is my personal favorite. I also love the new black edition, the ready to drink. It's got another whopping 35 grams of protein. 27 different vitamins and minerals, and it all comes in one handy bottle. Basically, it tastes like milkshake, and who doesn't love milkshake? So that's 15% off with code RIDE at HUEL.com. Unlock a healthier, easier way to eat with HUEL. Nutritionally complete meals in minutes so you can focus on what really matters. Biking. Cheers, HUEL.
Welcome back to Seager's story time, where we're on chapter 5. Seager.
And we go straight into the Pyrenees in the south of France. And Bren, you're going to do the French part.
Whoa.
Brenchien et amis. I think that means Brendog and friends.
Ah.
I know we.
I don't think you'd say "et" though, would you?
Eh.
You put out. Brendog et is friends.
Is it not Les Gets? No.
It is. Let's go.
Yeah, I thought so.
Can I say this is one of my favourite sections? This is.
Sick.
Is it?
That's
Sick.
rad.
Yeah. This is one of my favourite sections, just because of the proximity those boys ride.
I mean,
Yeah. I'll actually give you another. It was my mum's favourite section. We got out of the cinema. She's like, I like the ones with the guys in red. And I was like, which one did she mean to start with? And it came to this one. She's like, I really like the music. And
really sick.
Wow.
it's drum and bass and some guy rapping over the top. I was like, how have you picked this one?
It's
What
so
is
sick.
banger though, isn't it? The
Yeah.
soundtrack actually could be.
Go on, refresh me. It's been 7 months since I've seen this film.
Well,
It-
basically, we've got Thomas Estaque
Yeah.
and Frixtalon.
Ah, okay.
Two like top 15 World Cup racers.
Yeah.
Both like known for their style, their speed. They're like, they won't mind me saying they're on the edge, like when their race is sick. So I desperately wanted to film these two boys.
But actually, to be fair, similar to you.
Yeah.
They're both racers who, if they put it down, can get a shit hot result, but they are pretty loose. They could crash in practice and race. And they're like some of the steeziest guys on the current World Cup circuit.
Yeah.
So basically, I saw an edit that they'd done years ago, and I thought, oh, that looks so sick, like in ferns and like roost. And basically, we went over, and half of the section is that existing location that they'd already filmed. So they'd already had like a track that
Right.
they'd already filmed.
Yeah.
So we just went back there. I think we spent like a week or just over a week there. Like they had a big crew there. We brought some boys over. Sea Dog, my brother again, another friend of mine. Big diggers. Basically, we cleaned out the original track that they'd already ridden and built some extra stuff. Then we went to another hill and built a completely new line, top to bottom, like with a massive jump in it, which is one of the sickest shots of the whole movie. Is Frix. He was in the middle and he was like doing this big whip, and Andy's on a drone like circling around it. It's just like out of the bud. That build is really shit. Like we built it in the winter, snowing, so cold. Obviously, you can only have two in the digger, 2 5-ton machines. You got another 2 guys that are hand tooling. When it's so wet, you can't really do much with hand tools. Like raking's pointless, like digging's pointless. It always gets finished with the digger. We finished the day's work, went back, came back the next morning. Snow at the top of the hill. One of the tracks of the digger rolled off. The digger's at the highest point in snow, and we have to we've got a scaffold pole. We've got get all the grease out of the digger. Tracks to put the digger track back on. It's freezing. We're just covered in mud. It's like 7 in the morning. I'm just like, this is so shit. Why do I not just pay someone to be here instead of me? But it wouldn't have got done. You wouldn't go up there if it wasn't a bit of slave driving, a bit
Passion.
of come on, let's get it done, let's do it.
Yeah.
They obviously want to do something cool. They're the people that Sea Dog, who helped build a couple of sections for us, is just such a passionate, amazing rider, best trail builder, amazing machine driver. Yeah, we got it done, and then went back out to film. It was a super cool section to film, but we actually filmed that section in 2.5 days.
Yeah, which is crazy to think we did it in that time. But we did know some bad weather was coming in, so we were getting a hustle on, because it was kind of that dirt as well. As soon as it gets wet, it just turns into the slippiest, slidiest dirt that
Yeah.
you couldn't possibly hit all these jumps.
Yeah.
So we absolutely hustled in 2.5 days.
Really?
And we drove to that one as well. And we honestly got... Did we get into Eurotunnel that night? We left at like...
Oh, yeah, we drove back, didn't we?
Yeah, from the south of France. I think we left at like 2 o'clock. We made the 12 p.m. Eurotunnel and got on the last train.
Yeah, we had 5 of us in my van.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we had
Oh, and all kit and everything.
all kit,
Lights,
everything.
Yeah,
like,
filming.
wow.
Andy was
Full-
there, drones, loads of drone stuff.
And I think while we...
Bren screaming at me if I was going less than 85.
Yeah, and then all worked out, didn't it? We got it all done, and then the last day it rained, like
Yeah.
pissed down rain.
But then got some of the most unique shots of the movie as well.
Yeah.
At the start of that section. You'll see it, but they are... All this dirt is flying everywhere, and you three are kind of drifting in sync.
Oh, it's unreal.
No.
Like it looks like all little squares from your
Yeah.
tyres. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it looks like exactly the square from the tyre all
Estaque
floating
had a
everywhere.
huge one as well.
Oh, yeah. It didn't even go in the movie, but it was a massive crash.
Yeah, a massive.
And that was a point, it rained, and we're trying to finish off these shots, and he did exactly...
You got to be
Wait.
high side off a lip
Yeah.
over a road gap, and just had the most
Slipped off
humongous
and-
crash.
died.
Do you ever release B-roll?
For that.
Any of DEATHGRIP?
No, but I mean, now we're going to do it for...
Like a YouTube thing?
We do actually have it behind the scenes. You probably need to get on that. Like, there's
Yeah,
some bits we filmed.
We actually have behind the scenes for most sections, actually.
Yeah. Probably should do something with that, yeah.
Pretty cool, wouldn't it?
But I mean, now...
Huh?
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
that's all right.
Shit, I've got to edit something I thought then. To be
Let's
honest,
get
I was
on.
like, damn.
Let's get that done, actually, yeah.
But we've got, I mean, yeah, now the movie's, well, out very soon. We're going to actually be posting loads of BTS stuff and stuff around it.
Rad.
Which I think is always, even this podcast is nice to look back this book and remember all these shoots. And
Yeah,
same
it's rad.
looking through our phone clips is exactly the same. We see all the funny stuff that happened.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think as a consumer, it'd be rad to see all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
in, like you say, segments from each one. Or
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Do
I'm
have
so
most.
guilty of it as well. It's like seeing Brandon Semenak edit, or like Van Steenberg edit, or like... I mean, they're the only people I think of that do edits at the minute, but I watched a 2-minute, 3-minute edit. I'm like, oh, wow, that is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Go on to something else, forgotten about.
Yeah.
That is months of prep, months of like practicing tricks, getting everyone there, and things like, for me, what I think about is like, is the filmer available? Is the drone guy available? Is the photographer available? Is the location available? Are there flights there on that can go? Everyone get there at the same time, or are half the people going to have to wait in the airport 7 hours before the rest of the crew fly in? Do we need a hire car? What is the hotel big enough? What's the food like? All this shit that you got to think of for 8 shoots. But like, what I'm trying to say is like, I watch a Brandon edit or a Van Seaberg edit. You can't appreciate what goes in, and we don't. That's not why we do it. Because we want you to feel sorry for us, or we want you to be like, oh my god, those guys have worked so hard. That's not what it's about. But like, what I'm saying is that there's what goes in behind the scenes. Like, we've sat up on that mountain in the snow for a week in diggers or out of diggers, because I'm one of the crapper digger drivers. I don't get to spend the time in the digger. I have to be out raking or digging or something. I'd rather get the good guys in the diggers. So I'm out in the rain, like raking stuff for days, just like, or digging stuff, patting down. But then you forget about it. Like, the body forgets like pain and like suffering. And then you go back and then we'll go film it. We're like, wow, that's the sickest one ever. But I've forgotten what I've done.
All the effort and the
The hotel was so shit. It was a -2-star hotel.
Yeah.
And then no breakfast, like French breakfast.
The most
like,
French breakfast we had. Dry bread.
Oh my god.
and old cheese.
Old cheese. And the guy, didn't he get so arsey one morning as well?
Yes, so yeah.
We missed breakfast and didn't tell him. And bear in mind, he literally put out 6 rolls and a bit of cheese.
He's
like,
so
wouldn't-
pissed off.
He was,
Really?
honestly,
So
I've never
obviously
seen
we had to
someone
leave
so
before
pissed off.
breakfast was served. When he got back, oh my god.
It's like he cooked us a Michelin-star dinner and we just left it.
He probably had. It was probably lobster breakfast, and he's gutted. He had to chuck it out.
Maybe that morning he put it all on
Must
one
have.
morning,
Yeah.
saving it all.
The last day.
But
What a graph.
I mean, like, I was just thinking back to when that digger track rolled off the digger, and I was just like, oh my god, why am I even doing this? It's like sometimes you just think,
At that point, the end result's a long way off, isn't it?
yeah, so far away,
Yeah.
So far.
so far away.
Because you might be digging a jump that doesn't work, doesn't get in the movie.
Yeah.
It's just...
I've got to say, for this movie, our efficiency, and we did honestly ride everything that was built, right? There was no...
99%.
Because the first Echo, we'd have a little fuck up here and there, but this one was almost so streamlined, we didn't... I guess we couldn't really afford to waste money. We didn't waste any money, which is what it comes down to in the end. But everything, credit to all these boys, everything worked in the build, and it wasn't really much to change at all. It was, we get there, they might spend half a day buffing up, and then we are filming straight away.
3 will be a piece of piss then.
Yeah, hey.
Definitely not.
A lot of CGI in 3.
I'll do it. I'll just produce it.
DEATHGRIP
Won't ride
3D.
DEATHGRIP 3D, yeah.
That
That never really took off, did it? Remember Jackass came out in 3D?
Yeah, pointless.
Well, that didn't take off.
It never
at
really
all,
happened, did it?
No.
Never really took off.
No.
I think wearing those stupid glasses in the cinema for a start.
Yeah.
They started making films like the bats come out of the cave. It'd be like scenes were just written for those stupid glasses.
Like
right?
Jackass was literally
sure.
written for
Yeah.
just a big swinging dong, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. 3D.
Chapter
Chapter 6.
Chapter 6.
One of my favourites. Well, I'm saying this about a lot of them, but Leger, We Miss Warner.
Banger.
I mean, another, I think, pretty iconic one of the movie, and that is largely down to Rob Warner narrating it.
Yeah.
Poor Luca. We got Luca Shaw, top 3 World Cup racer. He came out and he was like, "Oh, that's a Warner section," and I was like, "No, it's your section, dude. Warner's narrating it."
Did you do Leger World Cup track?
Yeah.
After the race.
After the race.
So you stayed behind and did it
So
after.
big thanks to those guys for sorting it out for us. But yeah, they gave us access on the hill, opened all the gates, and said, "Yeah, you can ride down the track."
What was
film
Luca's
for-
result the day before? I'm saying the day before. It probably wasn't the day before.
5, I think.
That's
Pretty good,
unbelievable.
yeah.
Imagine doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
If you just pulled off a top 5 at a World Cup track, do you particularly want to revisit the track?
They hate it. I've done testing on World Cup tracks the day after. It's the worst shit you can
Yeah.
ever do. Worst shit you can ever do. But he was like so cooperative, so good.
And you knew all along it was going to be what it turned out to be, which was a Warner narration.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
We had
Really
a huge
cool.
amount of like worry at one point because we didn't know Red Bull would let him do it, but they were cool about
Yeah,
it.
real.
And Warner was stoked to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luca was stoked to do it. Worked out really well.
And this is when Clay and I were actually in the UK editing, and we just went to Warner's house, and he's got this, I'm just going to call it the man cave, this sick studio, where he clearly just plays video games, watches movies, and probably sends 2 mails a week in there. We just went in there, we played the film, and it's, you see someone so...
They just riff on it.
Yeah, someone so good and passionate, just switch on, not into business mode, but into his presenting mode, narrate it, give all these great lines, and then we revisited it after, and he added a few bits here and there. So kind of just hanging out with Warner for 2 hours, and Warner working his magic.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, but it worked really well. And there was another one that was hard to film because it was like really primarily GoPro section. So it's like the idea of this section was, imagine if you had all the not facilities, all like the
Tools, camera tools
the
at your
tools
disposal.
that you could film a World Cup run in the best possible way.
Yeah.
So what I wanted is a top to bottom run that you don't see one section of the track twice. So
Right.
basically, if the track was 3 minutes, the section is going to be 3 minutes. So I was following Luca, and it was like you start with like, say for example, my GoPro following Luca around the first 2 turns, and then it would go to an FPV shot where Andy would pick us up and then follow us. So you wouldn't see those first 2 turns again.
Okay.
And you go along, and then it'll be like where the GoPro's black tack to the fork facing up at us, and it'll go to that's the straight section. Then you go to like a big long lens, big drone, and then it's basically it's like the track not any section filmed twice. It's a race run filmed in the most optimal way, with Warner commenting on it.
I mean, it's the dream.
Yeah, it is. And then like there is one section
perfect
of
broadcast
which
with
we
the
had,
perfect
which we
commentator.
wanted to use Warner's. And look at the time bit where we slow mo a section in the movie because these boys wanted to flex their red cameras and their 240 frames, or probably more in those actually.
No, 240,
Yeah.
4K. You're right.
Yeah. So there's a cool section of the movie where it's like it's all GoPro, fast speed, like flat out. Like Andy's in front and we're like chasing him down, and like it's so sick. And there's one section where it just like slows up and it's like just like goes into slow mo. It's big dusty turns and Luke is just ripping this turn out, and it's a really dynamic, different, sick shoot that came together really well. Topped off with Warner commentating on it. Yeah.
And Luca's ripping.
Yeah, Luca's.
I mean, you're very far.
Yeah.
But also,
Obviously,
for a little drone fact, we borrowed, because it was the World Cup, a lot of the riders are around. So Chris Cummings came along for the day, and Andy was following him as the pacemaker.
Right.
Because when you're flying FPV, all you see is forwards. So Andy, to be fair play, the rest of Death Grip, he's honestly guessing how fast these boys are going. So he needs to just fly at speed he thinks they're going down the trail, which is kind of ludicrous because he's, you can ride a bike, but he has no idea what pace these boys can go at. So this one we actually had Chris Cummings leading the way and Andy managed to follow him, and the GoPro faces back to these boys. That's we got a ton of the cool, unique shots.
Also, I think we got Troy Brosnan's third place GoPro run from top to bottom that we used for audio.
Oh, right.
So we use his audio from like like the
the
drums,
crowd.
yeah, because there's no crowd.
So it's all accurate to each section.
Yeah,
pretty
That's
cool.
really cool.
So we got Troy's audio from like the crowd like banging and like whatever. We've got Warner commentating on it. We've got Luca going as fast as he can with me desperately trying to hold on for dear life behind.
I love this context, dude, because even watching it, I didn't pick up on the noise.
Yeah, exactly. Then
I didn't even pick up on it being that
sound
time.
design to add in there. Like Seager and Clay were not on this shoot. Seager was there for the last day, but we had Robbie Mead, Andy.
Yeah.
Robbie Mead and Andy, just
that was
those two. Like, 'cause it was like primarily GoPro or drone, pretty much. So we had Robbie Mead sort of directing it, helping out with GoPro angles, settings, all this. And we had Andy on drones. And then last day, Seager joined us, and then we got that little bit of red footage from that section. But it's a sick one.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Very cool one. I like the fact that Luca used to when you were racing, you used to follow Luca a lot in the actual
good
races.
friend, really good friend of mine. I like riding with him. Got a lot of time for Luca.
Yeah.
So like, I wanted to ride with him, wanted to get him in there. It was like seemed like really organic spot. Like he's a racer, Get him in like a race section, and it worked pretty well.
Yeah.
Actually, really cool. Sorry, really cool. One of the first shots of this section is we've got Andy on an FPV drone, black tacked to my helmet.
Oh yeah.
So it's like black tack is like blue tack. But
What colour is it?
His drone is on my helmet. So it looks like a GoPro angle.
Right.
As I drop out the gate, he flies off of my helmet. Like, so he's got like really pull away to get disconnected from the black tack. So the shot is like me going out. It looks like the GoPro's flown off.
Yeah, it
So
looks
like
like it's
POV.
gonna follow you, but then it.
Yeah, and it goes down and it goes whoa. Then it goes to this shot where which probably took quite a few attempts because you'd either like stick it down too much and he'd full throttle and it wouldn't take off, and I'd get this FPV drone full pelt on my head, or like take off too early. Or you can imagine it's hard to control that.
Yeah.
Do you know what the weird thing about that shot is? No one asked me about it. It's honestly
no one's asked me about it.
so seamless, you don't even realise it's doing that.
You don't understand how.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
so
actually nuts.
sick.
Yeah.
If you look at the start of Leger, now
Now you've got
listeners
context.
will actually
So I
realise
have
it, but
a
it's
drone
seamless.
on the top of my head.
Looking like a helmet cam.
Yeah, we should have got a picture of that, dude. We had
Yeah.
a picture of that. It's like on the top of my head, going, and I'm like going out the gate, and it's just like,
What if it pulled your helmet off?
imagine. Yeah, so that's
headbutt the
that's
start
a
gate.
and that's
just
a
landed
shot
on
that
your
we all had in our mind together that we wanted to try out. So we just were like,
You literally had it on your head.
yeah, literally had it in my head and I had it on my head.
Wow.
So
That's
yeah,
rad.
a really cool one. Worked out really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one asked about that shot.
No.
I love these little things. They're like
Yeah.
Easter
Yeah,
eggs. This
no
is
one
all
asked
good.
about
It's
that.
Yeah.
That's a really
Wow.
sick one.
Unique one.
Yeah.
Right, straight on to chapter 7.
Chapter 7.
This one was in Oregon,
Yep,
Yep.
near Pacific City,
yep.
and it was 1-2 and Bren. 1-2 being
Vali.
and Marine, who were 1-2 in the world, as
Right.
previously mentioned
Yeah.
in the
That's
World
unreal,
Cup standings.
Why there? Why those two?
Well, we were not struggling for location, but we were like, I was thinking the Valley on like a daily basis. Like what does she want to ride? Let's just make a track that you want to ride, that suits you, that you can just shred, that you can have fun on and feel comfortable on and do whatever you want. So originally I said Leo Gang, and she was like, no, I don't want to film Leo Gang. Like, it's, overdone. It's a boring World Cup track, blah, blah, blah. Not boring, but it's a World Cup track. So I was like, do you mind if we find a location and whatever? So Clay suggested this spot.
Where Clay's from?
Clay's from Bend,
But it's
not originally.
He's
from
filmed
Bend,
there a
Oregon,
lot,
but
and it's
he's
in the scheme of
lives there,
things.
yeah.
In American terms, it's pretty near.
Pretty close, about 9
Four-
hours away. It's pretty close.
4 or 5 hours, I think.
Yeah, but this Josh, and what's his surname? What did they call that ranch we stayed on?
I just know it's Bros and Hoes Landscaping, because
Yeah.
that's their business.
So really?
So like this guy's
Big
like,
shout out to those guys.
basically he's got
yeah.
a massive woodland behind him, and he just like builds tracks in there, like sort of helps
Yeah.
us like people out with that film projects and stuff like that. So Clay suggested it. We had no idea what to expect. So we all flew. It's another insane story about my bike getting lost actually.
Yeah.
But so we flew out there, went to go see it. Pissing rain every day, dude. Every day was so rainy out there. But Valley Marine came out and they were just absolutely just slaving for us, weren't they? They worked so hard and just
Really?
was so stoked.
And there was no uplifts, nothing. You had to push
Yeah, what those,
every shot.
yeah.
Because
What
it's like you
those-
had to basically hike into the trail and then ride down and hike up. So we were locked in all day
In the rain.
Oh
in
yeah.
proper. To be honest, it was such an epic location.
Yeah, it's so savage rain though, just wet.
Yeah.
Gloves wet, goggles are completely compromised with so shit actually. Yeah, they killed it. It really killed it, and it was a really cool one.
What was it like with 1 and 2 in the world? Was there any like competitiveness, on like features and stuff?
Yes.
Was there? Yeah.
So basically, I planned the week out of like how we were going to film in what order, what tracks we're going to do, what days, what suits the light, what suits the condition, whatever. And the last thing that I proposed was this huge, great jump, great jump. So I was
Because
like,
where they, I want to say, is it Proving Grounds?
yeah,
Yeah, they have Proving Grounds. It's like a big free ride event, and they filmed loads of movie sections apart then for like all the free riders, and they were these pretty massive jumps to the bottom of the trail, just ready for us if we wanted to hit them.
yeah. So I was like, I told Valley and Marine, I was like, if we get everything done, we're gonna. This is the plan. This is the plan for the week.
Yeah.
Whatever, we get every day goes pretty seamless. We're good. It's pissing rain, but these guys are working hard. We're all on it. We're loving it. It's good. It wasn't too cold, so it was like bearable, wasn't it? We were wet, but not too cold. And those guys were stoked. It's like they're chatting with each other. Some not rivalry, but it's like everyone's working.
They are
together.
competitors.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And you forget that they're battling in a championship together. Last day, halfway through the day, we finished the last track. Then we go back and we sort of have lunch, and everyone's sort of in like chill mode, like stoked, some high fives, just started to crack a beer. Yeah, it's just sick, done it. And I was like, guys, we've still got a jump to jump. and you could see they both just went quiet, like deadly quiet. And I was like, and it was like late in the day. It was our last day. It was a lot asking a lot of them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Asking a lot of everyone, the crew, me, them. But I was just like, we got to try this. Got them all up out of comfy seats, back out in the rain, walked up this fucking mountain, this massive jump, which was a savage hike up to the top of it. Insane dynamic went down. I jumped it so they could see speed, whatever, that it's all good. I'll hike up to the top. Vali asked me straight, can I follow you? But Marine's still halfway up the push. So like I just like, yeah. So Vali follows me and it jumps the first massive one, cleans it so sweet. So I'm like, oh sick, everyone's stoked. Marine's at the top. Then I quickly run back up to the top and Marine's like, oh, can I follow you? So I take Marine straight over the big first one, like a big setup jump, big hit, massive jump. And I've just done 2 runs in a row walking to the top. We're all like stoked, everyone's pumped. Neither of them have jumped the last jump. So then we all walk up to the top. And like I'm like knackered and you could see that they're both just like want to jump this next big jump. And then so basically what happened, I got to the top and then Vali was like, you ready? And I'm like, yeah. And Marine's up there as well. So I roll in, Vali goes behind me, and then Marine goes in behind Vali.
Whoa.
And we train in to this huge great jump.
First hit.
Well, it's like we'd hit the first one a couple of times.
Yeah.
But the first and only time they hit that was the time we did it in the movie.
No way.
And they followed me in, and they both just hit it so perfectly. Obviously, they do that. They're the sickest riders in the world.
Yeah.
And it's just a real sick vibe where we're all just like buzzing at the end of the shoot. Like we know we don't have to ride anymore.
Yeah.
Like we can't anymore. There's no light.
No, there was no light. Yeah, that was
There's
it.
no light, and we just all done this big jump, and it was high fives and like hugs. It was so sick. Yeah, it was.
It comes across in it as well.
Yeah, it's
doesn't it?
real rad, and I think those guys were genuinely really stoked, weren't they?
Yeah, and just for each other as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was
they
the
were,
coolest
yeah.
part.
Yeah.
What's it like for you when something like that's going down and you're like in a wet bush on the hill? Do you feel the pressure of a moment that's happening or whatever?
For sure, and that one, the build-up was just kind of all day. Because it was kind of joked about this jump. Oh, you're going to do it? I mean, Vali's known for actually, being real steezy and being able to hit all these jumps, but you could tell she was nervous and kind of downplaying it. Then it finally happened, and yeah, this buzz was on the hill. I was actually had the fisheye on the takeoff for that shot, so I was right in the action, and you can tell the girls are just so stoked they've hit this jump. And then yeah, good vibes the whole evening.
Actually, I screwed it up because went up to check as we were dropping. I checked Vali's GoPro, and I turned it onto photo mode. So I went to go. Then I've clicked it, and I've just all like in a fuss, like whatever, and I've clicked her bloody GoPro onto photo mode. So she's missed that clip on GoPro because it's my fault. But
Luckily, you had a lot of other angles.
The camera,
mate.
she's alright.
yeah, but it's still like I felt so bad. I was like, oh no, I'm normally so good at like. It's literally been my job for the last 2 years to make sure that the other athletes have their GoPro on. It's like it's all this shit, but cocked it up.
Final chapter, and
Chap-
for me, we've had your mum's favourite segment.
Yeah.
We've had, I guess, this is mine personally. Georgie's, yeah.
This is a good spread of favourite
Yeah.
segments.
Yeah, this one was mine personally.
And it is Chapter 8, Chaos to Infinity in Madeira again. Madeira 2, as we call it.
Yeah.
Banger.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
So who are the riders in this? Just Chaos.
Chaos and
Bren?
Finn.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, Chaos. Finn.
Yeah.
But the story was that
You in that one?
Finn won't mind me saying, but it's supposed to be Chaos and Cade.
Right. Okay.
Cade at the 11th hour hurt his knee.
Had knee surgery.
Knee surgery. Tough to get hold of. Didn't get a proper answer out of him for a while. But like Finn being like such an all-rounder, sick rider. We've been trying to get him in the movie for so long, and it just worked out. I was just like, Finn, I'm really sorry. I had to be honest with him. I was just like, look, it was going to be Cade and Chaos. Cade's not able to do it. can you step in? He was just like, yes, let's do it. And honestly, he was so good to work with, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was just unbelievable. It was such a sick dynamic. I didn't realise that those two were the same age. They used to race together back in the day.
Wow, yeah.
So it's two 24-year-old sickheads and a 36-year-old, like, God knows what.
Dinosaur.
Yeah. We've got Kaos, who's like openly like super free ridey, big baggy pants, like all the backyard battles, like sick tricks, like learning a new trick every week. Finn, top 2 in the world, dude. Top 2 in the world, the fastest rider in the world, like one of the fastest riders.
And that was the year he was winning the overall, and then he had
and he was
concussion issue, and couldn't do one of the
it
races.
Worked super good. He was on like a month-long training camp in Europe.
Yeah,
really?
Suspension training camp.
Right.
To learn like all the electric buttons on his bike. Yeah. So he was on this nuts training camp. And he was just like, "Yep, I'm done. I'm gonna come over. Let's just make it happen." So like, we made this happen. But the background on this section as well. I didn't want to go back to Madeira.
Mm-hmm.
We've used Madeira so much. We already have a section in Madeira in the movie with Toma. So I wanted to go everywhere apart from Madeira. The original one was a lead mine in South Wales that we're gonna like build, like jump through the old mining buildings, whatever. Like this. So that was lined up. The 11th hour, I was just about to book all the machines all the time. I was like, yeah, we're gonna ride down the slag heaps and then like through that big mining building, then jump up onto that. And he was like, "You're gonna do what?" I was like, "Yeah, ride down the slag heaps." He was like, "No, you're not." All like, it's like scientific, like protected.
Oh, really?
There's like a moss on there called lichen. So the slag heaps are protected. So we couldn't use this lead mine. Then we were going to go to Châtel as a second option. But like all this stuff came about, like timing was going on, and they couldn't exactly tell me where all like the water lines were for the snow pumps. For the snow makers.
Okay.
Then there was a big electrical cable for the lift that they didn't exactly know where was. Then they told me I couldn't go.
Digging.
Then they told me I couldn't go more than a metre underground. I had to get aggregate in, which was 2 miles away. So I had to get another machine driver 2 miles away with a truck coming in, and I had pretty much 2 weeks to build it. We'd have had 2 weeks to film it before it snowed, and we wouldn't have been able to film it until whenever. So that got shut down. And then I heard of a location in Sri Lanka. I was getting some sick pictures. Everything looked super good. And I was like, it's too good. I need to go. I can't commit a 25 grand build.
You went out there?
Yeah.
Bren's 2-day holiday.
I need to go and check it out. Like machine access, hotels, stuff. Like, is there internet there? Is there, everything? I have to go and check it out. Flew over to Sri Lanka. 11-hour flight, whatever. I got in a taxi, a Prius, for 6 hours, like the windiest roads you've ever experienced. And I was like, "Oh, you got to be here by now." Got to have a Prius into a four-wheel drive, and an hour in a four-wheel drive in monsoon conditions over a mountain to get to the hotel. Pitch black at night. Woke up in the morning to check out the location. There's no way a digger can ever get there, ever. It'd take you a week to dig a track to get to the location.
Whoa.
So within 45 minutes of doing this epic journey, I knew that it wasn't possible.
And came home.
So I flew home.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I was just like, "John from Madeira, can you help us out?" He's like, "Yep, I've got a location." Sent me a drone of it, and we were like, right up there.
Wow.
And we built this.
And that's the thing about John Fernandez. He knows how to hook the boys up.
Makes
he always finds some new location, or not this one, but even the other ones. It's like, yep, there's a golf course that's built. It's not going to be built anymore. You can build here and have all these little insights to the island.
Oh, that's so
and it's
cool.
just, I think for us as well, it's just easy if we know we can build something cool. And Madeira's got amazing scenery, and we can do cool builds. So hits a lot of jackpots.
Yeah, I was
instantly.
just like, can you get big machines there? Can they be at the top of the hill? Is there a hotel relatively close? What's the dirt like? Is it not too rocky? He was like, yep. So I was like, boys, we're coming in. So I flew Duran from South Africa. We flew Matt Rowe from UK. I flew over. Another friend of mine flew over. So 4 of us flew over from different parts of the world.
Right.
Into Funchal, Madeira, after never even seeing the location. hoping that the diggers would be at the top of the hill in time. Didn't know where a hotel was, so we just got a hire car, went there, the diggers were there, did a 10-day build.
Dude,
John Fernandez comes through a lot, doesn't he? He ticks a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
I mean, how much of a segment is logistics, would you say, percentage-wise?
Hard to tell though, but it's like a huge amount.
Because even when you're there, we have to sort all, like, even Madeira too, I remember the truck broke. Like, the leaf spring snap in the back. Because, well, Finn was actually loving, actually it was such a good crew, and that Finn was loving driving the truck. So then he drives that many manuals, but it was like full manual, like really rickety truck that John had hooked up off some random farmer. And it was just banging up and down these fire roads, and then the spring snapped, and then we have all these logistics constantly to kind of juggle, kind of put out fires left, right, and centre.
Yeah. Oh.
But I'd say like we're pretty good at it these days. Like, we do know what we're doing. We know not how to waste money.
I have a question, actually. Finn was on the bike with the electric suspension. What mode was he in for DEATHGRIP2?
He didn't have that off, that one.
Took
it would have been the.
So he took it off.
Yeah, he
Ripped it all out.
Yeah, ripped it out.
Wow.
Yeah, he didn't have it off for that.
There you go.
What
Yeah, and
I
it's
love
like-
about that is obviously the different, not riding styles, but
It is riding style.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
different way they're dressed. The whole thing is just rad.
And there's a real cool bit in there where those two, there's a step down jump. And like, luckily those two were leading. Like, it's Kaos, then Finn, or Finn, then Kaos. And I was third rider by chance. I could not do this step down. Like,
To be honest, it's the first time I've seen Bren not be able. He could do the jump, but Finn is
the
literally
steez
throwing
was so awful.
the steeziest whip I've ever seen. Chaos doing his like signature 1 foot foot swag.
So nice.
And I was at the back just like, I can't do this.
And Bren was trying to do some shape every time.
I was getting so worked up and pissed off with myself, and like, just I couldn't do it. I had to just forget it. I was just like, right, I'm at the back. But you watch this now. There's a certain shot where, like, if you see Finn cranking it over a 6-shot, and the shot in the still in the book is so sick. You got Chaos leant over, foot off, just swagging it. And you'll never see me on that jump because I get cut out in every single clip. Yeah, so it'd be like, if say there's a slow-mo of it, it'd be like Finn, Chaos, and you'd see me come into shot, and it'd be like, cut. But,
is that the Rue Fowler shot that
Yeah.
is in the movie that you boys talk about in the
Sneak
Wiki?
preview for the fans.
Wow.
yeah.
That segment's rad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all rad.
And, the
And
song
that is
in
our-
yeah.
yeah.
Prime song, which
Yeah.
even I'm amazed how it's in the movie, to be honest.
And then what I really like is, like, after that section, it goes into the credits, but it's like, even the credits are so, like, give me goosebumps and, like, buzzing, and it's like all like the outtakes of like high fives and yols and yeahs and fuck yeahs and whatever.
My favourite song's almost in the
Yeah,
credits.
yeah.
Really? Wow.
Again, we couldn't like believe that one worked for the credits, and everything got signed off, and they, absolutely buzzing on it.
Are you excited for everyone to see it?
Hugely.
Yeah,
I would be.
Hugely.
it feels like a weight off our shoulders as well, and
Yeah.
even not the sob story. We had so much stuff to deal with after making the movie, where Clay and I and Bren just thought we were done, and then we had all this other stuff to deal with. We had no idea was coming our way.
Idea.
And then finally it'd be, this weight lifted off our shoulders. Everyone can see it. And even I'm getting Instagram messages like, when can we see it? When can we do this? Like, when's it out? Where's it out? I'm like, please just let me post the links, let people
And then
buy it.
obviously 10 days before our proposed drop launch,
Yeah.
we've got bike painted. We've got all these Instagram accounts booked in. We've got takeovers. We've got this, that. We've got, we get a call. We're not going to be able to make the deadline. We have to move it back. So if you could just imagine, like, because I do talk to a lot of people, and I bore people a lot with the story, and I just think, it actually doesn't sound like much.
Yeah, but I
much
think
is-
given what
you
we've
know,
just
I
done
tell
and
them the story,
talking
like,
about context,
our
it's
launch has been put back at 6 days. They're like, yeah.
Cool.
It's like,
But I can see
I do just shut up about it, but then I just think, wow, like if only you actually knew half of what emotion and
I can see the appeal of uploading a film to YouTube these days.
Yeah.
It's uploaded in half an hour and you're good to go. Change the caption, you're done.
Yeah. That's not the idea.
This is far from it. No.
I want this to be a book that just sits on the shelf that people can keep going back to and reviewing and getting stoked on for years to come.
That's the thing about DEATHGRIP. You can just go back and watch your favourite
section. I love
section.
that right at the very beginning of this, Olly was like, it looks like so current, which is so sick. And a lot of this is from 2 years ago.
Yeah. Which again is something to organise, having the right kit and the right, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Different kit, different bike for every shoot. Different blah, 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 yeah.
We didn't do listener questions, did we?
I did put it up. I haven't looked.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I've got a listener question.
Who's it from?
I want to hear. We've heard your favourite section. We've heard my favourite section. Oh, obviously, I like all of them, but you know, we've heard Siegs's. I want to hear Bren's after the break. This episode is brought to you by INVISIFRAME. Now, I've just finished up building my new bike, and the very first thing I did was get my INVISIFRAME PPF ordered and fitted. In fact, I was terrified to even touch my jet ski custom Focus without it, I'll be honest. Now it's done, I'm happy hurtling down the rockiest of tracks without a care in the world, as I know my pride and joy is protected. The cool thing about INVISIFRAME is you can't tell. The kits are made to measure and you can't see it even has one on. In the meantime, it's protecting my two-wheeled investment, and I have the peace of mind that it will be worth more should I ever come to sell it. I mean, I don't think I will, but yeah. How do I get a kit, I hear you ask? Well, I simply visited invisiframe.co.uk and searched for my bike and model. I had a kit shipped to my door days later. Not only that, I have a secret code which gave me a 15% discount. And I'm willing to share it with companionship members because I'm a really, really nice guy. Enter The Ride Companion, all lowercase, at checkout and receive, that's right, 15% off your order. And that goes for more than just frame protection too. INVISIFRAME make PPF for forks, cranks and loads of other great products to keep your bike looking great. Head to invisiframe.co.uk and The Ride Companion for 15% off your order. Thanks, INVISIFRAME. Back to the show. We're back in from the ad break.
We are indeed.
And we've got Brendan announcing his favourite
dude,
section.
that's such a hard question. Because there's so much like emotional attachment to every single one. Like
can't pick a favourite child.
No, it's impossible. It's difficult.
The Oregon section with Vali and Marine, you know, that for me like was really hard to imagine. I couldn't imagine it, and I just couldn't put it together in my head. And then when Vali was like so stoked to do it, and then we got Marine as well on board, and we had that dynamic, and we went out there, and then what I saw was built out there, and it was so different. The scenery there was so different to every other shoot. We got to go to America. It was all like a big, huge rigmarole. So getting that shoot done was like and the way that shoot finished with a big jump at the end, and it like went fairly seamlessly. Yeah. I flew and my bike got lost at the beginning, which allowed those guys to ride by themselves the first day.
Right.
So the first day I was sort of filmer. I didn't have my bike. So those guys had the first day by themselves shredding together. Then I came in on day 2, 3, 4, 5. But I'd say that's my favourite shoot, yeah.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
All right. Listener question. Official Fisher. What one thing does Seager do that winds Bren up?
Make an answer it for you.
Go on.
Snores?
Yeah,
number one.
Yeah, snoring, yeah.
Definitely snores. That's awful.
Yeah, snoring's tough.
Because Ryan Franklin, big shout, he came a lot of shoots too.
Yeah.
And we are quite notoriously bad.
Is he a snorer as well?
Yeah. So,
the old snoring
Bren,
monsters.
often you notice the room booking, I'm not in his room. I'm with Ryan, whoever, or someone else.
the way room. Yeah, that's about it. That's about the only bad trait you got.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Take
there you
it.
go.
Other way around?
Bren does like to get things done quickly. Which maybe we've got too good at. Like the south of France proved it very well. We got in and out there of 2.5 days. But we're like, how on earth have we done this quick?
What do you think Clay's main complaint would be?
Rushy.
What would Clay's be?
What?
Outfield your love, but that one got sacked.
Our biggest complaint about Clay is ordering too many drinks on the DEATHGRIP2 account and not finishing them all.
Yeah.
Hey, he's really slimmed down on that now.
He's got better.
Yeah,
He's got better.
He has.
But I think when he does get quite relentless banter from us about it, he's really trying to notice. And of course, the front car seat. Clay, big shout out.
Clay loves this. He like instantly just get in the front seat.
Oh really?
Because obviously,
Just
like for me, it'd be like
shotgun?
it'd be like first and foremost age hierarchy. So if there's someone older in the crew, they instantly get the front seat, regardless of where they are in the crew.
Yeah.
Like whether they're the director or the whatever you are.
Totally.
The water boy, age first for me. You get in the front.
Yeah.
Or then it'd be like
who has the most kit,
or who has the most kit.
It's a gender would
Or
come
if it's
first,
an
right? If you're a dude, the lady's going in
True.
If it's an athlete, they'll go in the front.
Yeah.
Nope, Clay, he's straight in the front
Is he,
regardless. Yeah, there could be like an 85-year-old pensioner, he's in the front. Clay will be in the front. Could be like, he could be working with James Stewart and like Michael Jordan. In the back, boys.
You addressed this and now it doesn't happen.
No, it
No,
doesn't
we
happen.
addressed it, yeah.
Because
That's so good.
The banter got so much.
We need to give Clay a chance to like build a dossier on YouTube. He's not here. It's not fair.
I
we
think have a
can't.
list this big.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
No,
be a
but
whole podcast.
Clay, we had that. It really is some of the best times for the last 10 years with doing DEATHGRIP shoots with all of
And
us.
at the end of the day, it's just three mates traveling around
so
the world
sick.
having
making it happen
the
somehow.
best time.
Yeah. And
Very
Clay,
cool.
I have to say, Clay's really, really killed it with this one, with the edit and every shoot, and we've all just been rad, been stoked. It's been good. Books come together. Hopefully, it'll be available on the 28th.
Yeah.
I've got a really good one actually. A really good listening question from John Shrewsbury. He said, "What would you have done better if you had more money and more time?"
We literally say this. It was like, I think we've done $1 million film for £250,000
Wow.
because of the passion, the work we've done behind
Yeah.
the scenes. Like everyone getting drastically underpaid.
Yeah, you probably have done $1 million movie for it.
I guess
The
you would
shit
have.
hotels we've stayed in.
You've had maybe a few more fancy toys filming wise. I don't think that many.
Would you
more.
though?
But
Well,
only
that's
like
the same,
maybe.
like I said.
Maybe only like you get those cinema cars like in the Seven like edit years ago. It follows you down the hill.
And with a film like this, do you
And where would
have
we
to
have had
buy
that?
it, or would you rent? Is that the thing that you do? Because you say you want more fancy toys. Does that mean you've
You
got to
rent
buy
all
the
the
$100?
kit.
You'll
Or
rent
rent all the
because
kit,
that
yeah.
stuff's so
£1,000.
expensive.
Right.
Like you're talking, well, you got to rent buggy of arms and like shot,
Okay.
which costs like hundreds of grand. You got to rent everything,
So you rent it all.
and that's the problem with rental. No one's from a legit rental house. No one's doing your mates rates.
Okay.
It's going to cost you X amount a day, and it's
Yeah.
not cheap.
Yeah.
But I just think, I
I think
honestly
none of the bills are compromised.
no.
For a
Maybe you'd have
start.
made them a bit longer. I don't know, but
Well, then the movie's over an hour long.
the movie's over an hour long,
So
and again,
that's- I'm being 100%
Yeah,
serious.
I'm with
Would
you.
you want the section longer?
not really no.
So
And the music is for me like a
the build
8.5 out of 10 dream.
all
song
the builds
selection.
are
Okay.
uncompromised.
Yeah.
All the athletes in the movie are uncompromised
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
The music completely uncompromised.
Yeah.
What is there?
No, I'm with you.
Just
Like-
hotels.
Yeah,
And-
it's better hotels. Like actually, some
Because it was our
legroom on the
budget.
flights would have been nice. Like
Yeah.
a bit of a lie
That's what we'd
down.
have done. All flown business, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, that's our only change with all flown business.
That's a pretty sick feeling knowing that we've
Yeah.
put everything on the line and there's no compromises.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be sick to see people, download it and watch it and engage with it, and for years to come, which is
Oh,
really
hopefully,
cool.
like it's been like I keep saying it, work, passion project, but it really
Yeah,
has.
it really
It's
has.
been pretty sick. I wouldn't advise it to family and friend to do a movie. Would you?
No. The finance of this one haven't quite added up, but hey, the
Yeah.
passion was there, and that's
Yeah.
all that
And we're
really
stoked.
matters.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, it's good to see all three of you boys still best of mates, like in Laguna,
Yeah.
seeing you all at your own premiere. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Quite rare, I would say, with the amount of pressure and worry and
Money.
over such a long
Logistics.
period of time. Yes, hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Big thanks to actually all the sponsors as well. Have to big all them up.
Yeah.
They're like,
You know, this might sound kooky, but what I really like about it, and you kind of mentioned it, it's like, I think, especially at the moment, there's this whole like, oh, this energy drink and this energy drink, and these don't talk to each other, where you've got athletes representing every different sponsor. It's not like it's a Scott film or a Monster film, or you know what I mean? It's just rad
100%, and that's like testament to all my sponsors, really.
Yeah.
It's like they understand that we can't Monster, Scott, Fox, we can't just have a film with just these athletes, because that's not the idea of the film. The idea of the film is to represent everyone, and in our opinions, the best riders in the best riding locations in the world, and ultimately by doing that, getting people out on their bike.
Yeah.
Like, so that's the end goal. That's the end goal, is getting people out on their bike. And like, that's what's super cool. There's like Red Bull athletes, there's loads of Monster athletes, there's like Common Cell, GT, bloody all these other brands, and it really doesn't matter, because you're just looking at the stoke behind the eyes of the rider, and like the moves that are going down and the tricks they're doing. Not so much tricks, but it's like the speed, you know, that like it's just like you just buzz from it and just want to go ride your bikes. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, that's like I say again, testament to all my sponsors, because I've asked for more amount of money than I've ever asked for to do a film that's coming out in 2 years' time. But now finally it is 2 years, and they are finally getting something. But
for sure. But even with all like delays and whatever else, they're so chill.
Yeah, they're so chill. They're really cool about it. Like,
they don't mind. They're like, it's coming out soon.
Yeah, you know, it just is a bummer. Like, the thing, like, times change. Like, bikes change, forks change, bars change, kit changes. Yeah. So that's what you have to be a bit conscious of, that you don't have a film that comes out in 2 years and every athlete in there is on a different bike sponsor or a different energy drink sponsor or whatever. So, which I think we've kept pretty well. Unfortunately, Tommy G's changed, but
that's literally the only one. That was the first shoot. But yeah.
So we are stoked.
Sick.
I'm stoked too. I can't wait to see it again. Head to iTunes now. Stop what you're doing. Actually, well, maybe. Who knows? Head to iTunes at some point. Get yourself DEATHGRIP 2.
The link will be in the description.
Yeah, they are. The links are in the description.
DEATHGRIP2.com. You can buy the book, bit of merch, watch the movie.
And I think the book is actually the perfect.
Yeah, we're so stoked on the book.
It's to watch.
You're doing good merch at the moment, man. The Light Science tees, these are really nice. I wear mine literally all the time. It's actually really nice quality stuff.
Yeah, sorry the Lad Science tees took so long, but we just had an absolute headache with that. But I hope you like them. We're stoked on them.
Stop apologising.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Apologise.
Thank you, boys, and thanks, Clay. And I think
this is a great breakdown.
Yeah, unreal breakdown. I think, like, in a world where it's too easy to just do stuff quick, dirty, super fast, kick it out the door, move on to the next one. It's sick, actually, that people like yourselves are still taking time and making the sport look as cool as it does.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah, round of applause. Big thanks, Bren, Siegs and Clay, DEATHGRIP2.
Available now.
That's right, yeah. Go with it.
Yeah, sure.
Confidence. Big up. Thanks for listening, everyone. Peace and love.
Woo! Mate, what an episode.
Brilliant. I thought you were really great, Davey.
Mate, and I thought you were even better.
Thanks, dude.
Better than normal.
Oh, cheers.
Hey, how about we tell our lovely podcast community to hit subscribe here.
Yeah.
Click on the video on Olly's face.
That's right.
Click on the video on my face.
Yeah.
And follow us at The Ride Companion on Instagram.
They can like and comment as well.
Please do.
I'm going to try and get this energy, and I'm going to bring it into next week.
Let's fast forward to next week's episode.
Done.